Hey, Shakeen Black. Hey, allegedly. Good morning. Hey, Clore Lover. Good morning. Good morning, Red Snapper. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? TGIF, everybody. It's Friday. It's Friday. It has come. Yes, honey. Yes. Mm. So anyway, how you guys doing this morning? I hope everybody's doing okay. I wanted to, because it's Freestyle Friday, because I have kicked up so much dust during this week. As y'all know, when I get bored, I get messy. I want to drop my link and see if there's anything that anybody, any questions, any comments for me. Hey, True Black, anything anybody want to say, sound off. And so, yeah, I really didn't have anything else to add to the situation other than the fact that I'm glad it's Friday. You know what I mean? But I was like, well, shoot, let me open up the panel and see if anybody has anything that they want to share. Any questions about what's going on this week. We have seen a lot. We have learned a lot. I have noticed a lot. You know what I mean? I noticed one thing real interesting. I wish Miss Vonnie would click on because I had some questions for her. I don't understand why she was attacked for being on my panel the other day. It just be a lot going on. People be in their feelings. There go Miss Vonnie. Hey, Miss Vonnie, would you mind hitting the link, if you would? Because I saw your video um from last night, and I just want to, ask you a few questions about how you felt about being attacked. Good morning, Winshanti. For really no reason at all. I feel like you were attacked because you jumped up on my panel. Oh, here's maybe this is Miss. Oh, here she go. Yeah. She. Good morning,
Hey,
Miss Vonnie. Happy Friday.
hey, good morning. I don't have a lot of time. I'm at the doctor's office and my appointment's in like 15 minutes. So I can
Okay.
give y'all about 5 minutes. But I'm glad that you said something because I did do a live last night
Mhm.
concerning this the little bit of an attack that I got
Ye-
yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
And
I saw it. Mm-hmm.
correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember saying anything disparaging about that
Nothing.
person.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And
I,
I
I,
heard her
I did.
attack you yesterday. And she was like, she had the nerve to come up here and chastise me. And then she went in all that old drama, bringing that back up.
Yes,
And I
right,
just really felt bad about that, Miss Vonnie. And I thought it was so adult of you. And this is why I want you to click the link, not even for drama. I thought it was
right,
so adult of you, the way that you conducted your live stream and the way that Miss Cruiser came up there to support you. I thought that was awesome because that attack was unprovoked because we weren't even talking about mess that day. We were talking about a serious subject. And so, how do
right,
you devolve a serious subject into being petty? I didn't understand that. I thought it was
right.
unfair, Miss Vonnie.
And I did do a live yesterday morning that I said what I said. But what I was referring to was I was talking about what I said about Gigi. I said that and I meant that. Everything that I said, according to as it relates to Gigi, I meant that. She was being
Right.
racist. It was uncalled for. It was
Yeah.
out of order. And that's what I meant. And
Right.
last night when I did my live, I came on and it took me all day to go back and listen to what was said. So when I went
Yeah.
back and listened to what it said, I was like, wow. But you know what?
Right.
I ain't even mad, Olivia, Miss Olivia. I'm not mad because I don't get a lot of traffic on my channel. But guess what? That don't make or break me.
It don't. It
It
don't.
don't
It don't.
it
It don't.
doesn't.
And then for her to be, we are what they say, women of a particular age or whatever. And for her to
Absolutely.
be so juvenile about a situation that really was the way that she attacked you was unprovoked about such a serious
Right.
situation, and it really goes to her character. And like I said, I really wanted to come on here just to tell you the way that you conducted yourself, the way that you responded is it's absolutely appropriate because she didn't have no reason to do that, Miss Vonnie. That didn't make
Right.
no sense. She just
And
feel away. She
and
really felt away about
I
you being on my
appreciate you.
panel.
I appreciate you saying that to me, Miss Olivia.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned last night on my live, I go in a lot of people's bushes. That's what YouTube is for. You're supposed to
Right.
go in and watch the channel. And I have not said anything disparaging about her. All I said was maybe that she took wrong was that I don't go on Miss Bless channel, but I told her that the day when
Right.
she said something to me. I said, you know what? I will not come on your panel anymore. And I haven't been
Right.
on since. So it's not like it's something that she was not aware of. I told
Right.
her that. I told
Right.
her that I won't come back to your panel. I won't be in your chat. And I
Right.
haven't been. Because if
Right.
you don't like the way something is being done, that's what grown-ups do. You remove
Right.
yourself from the situation. She has a right to run her panel any way she sees fit. But
Right.
my thing, I think it kind of hurt my feelings.
I know.
And I ain't know why it did hurt my feelings because you have my phone. She has my phone number. She could call me and talk to me. And I
Right.
know that she's upset because when I did the video about when you and her was having a little tip on there, and I said
Uh-huh.
that it
I got a
was
good
dentures,
kiki. Hmm.
yeah, it was dentures flying everywhere and all that. I
Hmm.
truly did not know that who wore dentures or who didn't. You know,
Right.
and I just
Right.
said it as that's just me. That was just me being funny. And
I
and if
know.
that offended her about me mentioning dentures, I apologize to you, Bless. But I really didn't know she wore dentures. I didn't. And I'm the last one to talk about what somebody's teeth look like. I don't even
Hmm.
care. But I have a gap in my teeth. I don't care. I don't care. They
Right.
ain't never stopped me from doing nothing. Ain't nobody never kicked me out the bed behind it. Ain't
Right.
no man never turned his back on me. And that don't make me or break me neither. My
Right.
teeth, my hair, none of that.
Right.
People can say whatever they want. I'm bald headed. I sure am. Get my hair cut every 2 weeks. Yes, I do.
Right.
I don't care about none of that no more. It used to hurt me. And the other little comment that hurt my feelings, I'm trying to be quick because I'm, getting ready to go in the doctor's,
Yes, ma'am.
was, when she said that I went into hiding
Mm.
because of BS or whatever. Well, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, it was
Mm.
a lot of people on my ass at that time. And
Hmm.
I was feeling some type of way, but I wasn't the only one that kind of
Right.
went into hiding. And some people, if they would be true to themselves, if they
Uh-huh.
had the opportunity to be back in TSCC, they would be. How about
Hmm.
that?
Absolutely. Let me ask you this one thing though.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
did you feel about her saying that you chastised her? Because I saw it as corrective, criticism, you trying to help her out with her
Right.
over talking and people stuff.
I definitely wasn't trying to chastise her
I know.
about
Yeah.
but here's the thing, the if she will go back to the video that she's talking about with the whole Sir King thing, if you ask the question of the people in the chat, because the question was asked, did I talk over him? Blah blah blah. And I said yes. That's it.
Right.
So if you
Right.
don't want the answer, don't ask the question.
Right. Don't ask the question. Yeah, it was real
No,
basic of her and real, low class of her to come up there and I mean she hold on to evidently she been hey Miss Cruz, she been feeling this way about
yeah,
what you said to her,
about me. Yeah. Hmm.
for a long
Yeah,
time for her to come out just like it, just out the blue. And Miss Cruiser, I like the way you what you said on the panel because I did watch it. I be up in the, I watched it this morning, and I felt like that attack was unprovoked, and I really hate when it really bothers me because they try to box people in and make people feel that they can't go where they want to go. And so I'm glad
right,
you hit the link because I felt like that was unprovoked. It was no
right,
reason for her to do you like that. I mean, she a
right.
big old ass battle axe is what she is. But as far as that video you made that time about them dentures flying and all this, I thought that was cute. I got a good kiki out of it. I don't wear dentures. I got my real teeth. But if I did wear dentures, like so what? Like big deal. She insecure.
How can
She
I be,
too old
what,
to
how
be so
can I make
insecure.
fun? How could I really and truly make fun of somebody's teeth and I carry a cane? She could have came right back and said, well, you just worry about that cane you walk around with. I don't worry
Right.
about that either. Because I
Right.
use whatever helps me to be mobile. And I just want to make this and
Right.
say this plain. I have nothing against you, Miss Blessed. I'm not gonna call you names. I'm not gonna do it
Right.
because the Christ that's in me
Right.
says, don't do it. So
Right.
there's old hymn that says something in me is holding me back, and
Mm.
I'm not going to call her names, and I
Yeah.
know people want me to, but I'm not going to do it. But I
Right.
can come on your panel. I can go on any panel that I want to. I can go
Absolutely.
on anybody's YouTube channel that I want to. When people are
Absolutely.
saying things about people, no, they can't say they ever heard me come in there and say, that's right, Miss Olivia, she did, she that. Her or Miss Lady Nika. I like Lady Nika. And
Right.
so when that happens, that's when if I'm in the bushes, I stay in the bushes. I might listen. I ain't gonna lie, I'll listen.
Right.
But nobody can tell me who or what I can go watch or not watch. And to
Right.
bring up that whole thing, if you're supposed to have any respect for me or anything like that, to bring up that whole thing with Larry Nelson, see, you was
Right.
trying to, you try to get at me and try to
Yeah.
hurt, but I ain't. I'm not even worried about it. You cannot go and have a restraining order executed. You look like a plumb fool if I
Yeah.
go to the police and say, he called me a name. Do you know how fucking, excuse me, do you know how ignorant they would think I was
Right. I
about
know.
a
It was
name?
just I just hate that it was thrown back up in your face. And I hate
Yeah,
that you was, attacked unprovoked because you was on my panel, but we wasn't being petty that day. We had everybody know I'm real messy, but that day in particular, I stayed away from the petty because I wanted to have the conversation. And for you to get attacked for speaking your mind about the subject of racism of all things, that was beyond me. And it wasn't a
right,
petty moment. And so I really hated that. And I'm really glad you did that. If you hadn't
right,
done that live stream, you and Miss Cruiser last night, and let me know how you felt about it, that's what prompted me to come over here and say what I
right.
said about it because I'm real messy, but I'm not a bully, and that don't make no sense right there. I didn't like that. And that's just real talk. I didn't
But it's
appreciate it.
okay. But you know what? This is what I'm gonna say, y'all. Don't y'all, and I appreciate that, Miss Olivia. But
Mm-hmm.
don't y'all, don't feel no type of way about it because when something, I have hurt her feelings, and I'm gonna publicly say, you know what, Miss Bless, whatever I did to offend you or hurt your feelings, I apologize. But I'm still gonna continue to be Vonnie. I'm gonna go where I want to go. I'm gonna, speak out on things that I feel are wrong. And I was
Right.
speaking out on racism, not
Right.
against her panel, not
Right.
against the
Exactly.
platform. But
Exactly.
if your only way a person should be offended about what I said about racism is if your platform is racism. But if your
Right.
platform is not that, nothing that I said should have offended you.
Right. Nothing. Nothing. You said nothing wrong. Nothing. And I'm here to tell you that you said nothing wrong. It
And I'm
wasn't
gonna
it wasn't Petty Day. That video was not about Petty Day. I mean, we
no,
acting like we don't we acting like we don't live in this country. We ain't been here all our life, and we don't know that we are plagued by racism. I mean, it's the original sin.
we are. But listen, Miss Olivia, I would love to stay on here, but I'm my appointment is in 8 minutes, and I got to get in here.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. And
Okay.
again, like I said, Miss Blessed, if I have offended you, I do apologize. We don't never have to speak again, though. But I do
Right.
apologize,
Well,
and
feel
I'm
free to
good, and
come.
I'm not your enemy. I'm not your
Right.
enemy, Blessed. I'm not your
Right.
enemy. All
Right.
right,
Well,
y'all
feel
have a
free
good
to
day.
come. Right. Feel free to come here anytime you want to. Okay.
All right, thank you, Miss Olivia. I appreciate that.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too.
Hey, Miss Cruiser.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, Olivia?
All right. How you doing, love?
I'm doing good. Good morning to everybody in the chat. I missed most of Vonnie talking because I just turned my phone on and saw that you were
Mm,
on this morning. But I
yeah.
did want to say that I want to I don't know whether Vonnie did or not, but in the background with me, Vonnie, and Bless. Of course, me and Vonnie are very close.
Mm,
But me, Vonnie, and Bless, we kind of all were good in TSCC, and then beyond TSCC, we were all still good,
mm,
have each other phone number and stuff like that. And I
mm.
hate that Vonnie and Bless could not have a phone call about this. I hate
Right.
that.
Right.
And I think that, and I'm just going to give my flat out straight opinion on what I
Absolutely.
feel happened. I
Please do.
think that when you and Bless got into it,
Mm,
and Vonnie used to get up every morning and talk about what went on the YouTube streets.
mm,
And like I said last night, when you talk about what went on the YouTube streets, just because you're cool with somebody and you like somebody doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to leave out what happened with them. So
mm,
Vonnie made a joke about
mm,
dentures and wheelchairs, or however she put it, was flying.
mm,
And I recall somebody saying it in your chat, and you laughed about it. You said, Vonnie
mm.
said what? And you
Yeah, I
laughed
gotta
about
get
it.
kiki. Yeah, it was get
Yeah,
kiki.
you laughed about it, but Bless took it the wrong way. Because
Mm,
I really don't. And I'm not saying this because Vonnie's my friend, because Vonnie know I'm a straight shooter.
mm,
Especially with my friends. I am especially honest with them. Um, and I don't, under this, Vonnie can be shady, but under this, I think that she was just making a joke.
mm.
It's like, all of us are kind of close in age. I
Right.
think you and I are a little younger than me and you are very close in age, and Bless
Yeah.
and Vonnie are close in age.
Yeah.
They just slightly older than us. So it was like, she wasn't trying to talk about old people. She was just making a joke.
Mm,
They was fighting. And I
mm,
think that Bless took it the wrong way.
mm,
And then instead of them having a conversation about it, they kind of went at it, and other stuff got brought in it. And then
mm,
from there, it's like, again, when Vonnie got on your channel and she said, and no, I don't go on her platform again, that
mm,
felt like a that felt like a shot again. That felt like a shot
mm.
at her.
Yeah.
And so again, a conversation went had, and it's I hate that people say hurtful things. I'm hurt and I'm gonna say something hurtful, and now it's to the point of no return.
Mm, mm.
It's
Yeah,
just
but my,
downhill
my
from there.
thing about that, Miss Cruiser, is I really feel like Bless Watkins is really too old to be so sensitive about a stupid joke. You know what I mean? Like I said, I got a good kiki out of it, and she been holding on to that forever. And she said, Vonnie chastised her. She didn't chastise, in my opinion, she didn't chastise her. She just said, you be talking over people, and she gave some, you know, corrective criticism in a good way, you know and I think that I just felt like it was uncalled for, Miss Cruz, and I had to speak on it. Hey, T Tricia, because it wasn't right. That was an unprovoked attack. And like I said, as far as for being on my panel the other day, we weren't throwing shade at anybody. We was talking about a serious subject. So that came out the blue to me. I'm like, wow, really? This how you doing it?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
wow.
I really hate all of that happening. They didn't talk about it, and this.
Yeah,
But I am proud of Bonnie for how she's handling it.
me
I
too.
am, because normally
Yeah.
normally I'd be sending her emails and she'll still be going off, and I'd be like, stop, 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 stop. But
Well, I
because
think Miss Bonnie was more hurt by it because of she said what she said about the situation with Miss Bonnie's past situation. You know what I mean? I really think that really hurt her feelings because, like you said, if she
yeah,
had that much of a problem with her coming up on my panel talking about racism, not nothing petty,
hmm
then she could have called her on the phone. But the way that she went about it, adding that old stuff, that was absolutely unkind. And I think I hurt Miss Vonnie's feelings. And because I felt like it hurt Miss Vonnie's feelings, and because she was up on my panel, Miss Cruiser, I felt like I had to say something about it. You know what I mean? And I can see if we was like throwing shots at her or something like that, but that was not the case. If you can't
hmm
separate, if you are so, have gotten to a point to where you can't separate the petty from the important, then in my opinion, you need to take a step back and take a breath. You know what I mean? Like you way too invested. You can't separate the conversations. We are all adults here. And like you said, Bless Watkins for sure is older than us. You know what I mean? I don't know how old Miss Vonnie is, but she too old to be acting like it. And what you mean somebody chastise you? You are old grown woman. You are old battle axe. And you ought to be shaming yourself. And that's just how I feel about it, Miss Cruiser. But I appreciate you supporting her. Because like I said, I did listen to that panel. And I don't like people attacked, when they come to my channel. I don't like that. It bothers me, you know. And so that's why I had to speak up about it.
but unfortunately, there's obviously a lot of sides, and you can say as much as you want. I'm not taking any sides. Like, I honestly believe what's going on between you and Bless ain't got nothing to do with me.
Mm-mm.
What's going on
Nothing
with
at
you and
all.
Nika ain't got nothing to do with me. I wasn't there when y'all exchanged numbers. I wasn't there when y'all decided to, take, to develop a YouTube ship. I wasn't there when you fell out. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Right.
So I
Right.
should be able to talk to you. I should be able to talk to Lady Nika. I should be able to talk to
Right.
Bless. I should be able to talk to God, because I mind my own grown business,
Mhm.
over here. And if
Right.
I'm with somebody, I hear people take shots at me because I'm okay with Jay Wilson. Well,
Hmm.
what they got to do with anybody else? They don't know
Nothing.
our history.
Hmm.
It's just, to me, it's just so silly, and it's
Yeah.
kind of controlling, and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not. and I'm not up here taking a shot at nobody or talking about anybody. I'm just saying this is how I feel in generally. That, and then I do believe that we, as we ain't. The truth is, we take on. People have said we were old so long that we take that on, but the truth is, we're not old. Old is 80. But I think that being older, that we should be an example. Do we owe anybody an example? No. But I believe that, that and do I do everything perfectly? Absolutely not. I cut up in a chat 2 nights ago that started some shit. But I do think that we should show, okay, this is how you handle things.
I think that we should be able to separate the two, the messy and the petty, from the important topics. That's my issue. Do you see what I'm saying? And no, I'm not anybody mama, and a lot of people on here are not even as messy as I am. It's because I don't know anybody personally, so that, and I don't cross boundary issues, so I don't have a problem with people, traveling between chats and all of this and all of that. But when you attack somebody for such an important subject and what nobody worried about you, just cause it happened on your panel and you feel embarrassed by it, I think that's an issue, and you got to be checked. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you didn't have to come at that lady like that about her past, and you've been holding grudges evidently for a long time, because you had the nerve to say out of your mouth that she chastised you. Child, like, are you okay?
I think the worst part of that is to use something that was very hurtful.
Yes, my point exactly.
That was, and a lot of people, it's one thing for people to look and say, "Oh, this is the beef sector," but we had insight. Me and Bless had some insight into that other people may not have had. So to know the whole, I'm sorry, let me turn off the phone.
Okay.
To use that, knowing that it was really, really going to hurt, knowing all that Vonnie had to go through, all that she had to go through to try to get herself away from that situation.
Right.
It wasn't just an online thing. It was, I had to do some physical stuff to get myself away from that situation. It was hurtful and it was dangerous. So I don't know. I can't speak for why people choose to do what they do, but yeah, that
was. Cruiser, I can't hear you. I'm gonna try to take myself out the chat.
It's me. My phone is
because I got a phone call and my sound done went out. Give me a minute here. You can keep talking. I just gotta figure. Oh Lord, did I kick her off? Did Miss Cruiser leave? Shoot. Can y'all hear me? If y'all hear me, hit the 1. Did I start a new stream? Child. Shots get thrown at you because it's me. My phone is ringing. Okay, Miss Cruiser, I got a phone call too, and I hate that happened like that. But let me. But yeah, guys. Okay, Miss Cruiser, thanks for coming up, and thank you guys for letting me know that you could hear me. But Lady Tia is right. She says shots get thrown at you, because of who you associate with. You get lumped into it. Yeah, and that's true. You know what I mean? That's true. Lady Tia, thanks everybody for joining me. And I didn't get to speak to everybody. NYWJ Parish, a lot of y'all, Lady Tia, kind to me. Kimmy, free thinker. Miss T. Tricia said, personally, I like and support everyone. When conversation becomes uncomfortable, I either mute or leave. I absolutely understand that, Miss T. Tricia. I just said, hey, hood chick, it just really struck a nerve with me because it was uncalled for. Thank you, Karen Gold Carrot Island. Yeah, it just really struck a nerve for me because I felt like it was unnecessary. And like I said, hey Stephanie, I could see if we was up here throwing shade, but nobody was throwing shade. And I feel as adults we should be able to separate the two, you know. So yeah, that was my issue. I felt like it was an unprovoked attack. It was absolutely unnecessary. And so yeah, and I really wanted to come on and just let Miss Vonnie know that I hate that happened to her. And so yeah, I didn't that was just not cool to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. But anyway, let me drop my link again, and hopefully I'll be able to. Here. If somebody want to hit the link, and let me see here. Lady T, if you're still in here, can you just hit the link to let me know if just to see if I can hear, because I got a phone call, and when I get a phone call, it messes up the stream. You know, I don't know if Lady T or anybody, can you just hit the link long enough to let me know if my volume's okay? Because most of the time, I don't know why. I knew I was gonna start getting phone calls this morning, and I don't know why I didn't just log on the computer. You know, let me see. Somebody hit the link. I just want to know if I can hear or not. This is Lady Tia. Hey, Lady Tia.
Good morning, Miss O.
Thank God, girl. Thank you for letting me know that I can hear.
Yeah, I don't know. Is you on your phone this time?
Girl, I'm on my phone. I always got a problem, Lady Tia, when I'm on my phone. And I got a phone call, and it just knocked the sound out when Miss Cruiser was talking. I hate that.
Yeah, that's what cause me and Les we got a show. I think we're doing a show tonight. And every
Okay.
time you on the live stream and you get a phone call, it lowers the volume and
Yes.
you can hear, but it's low. So that's why
Yes.
I had did that with you. I told you I need to come back in because I got a phone call and it lowers the tone.
And I couldn't hear. Lady Tia, do you know who Cease is? CEES?
Mm-mm.
Is it an actual person?
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I know you be trying to protect and make sure that nobody ain't putting nothing crazy on you.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
do
know.
have a hey, right to be told. How you doing?
Hi, Lady Tia. Hi. I
Who
was
like to
just
be
trying.
called?
I was clicking the link just to help you out.
Thank you, girl. Because when somebody call me on the phone, the sound goes out, and if somebody's clicking the link, I can't respond because I can't hear. And so,
Um,
and Lady Tia know how it go when I'm on this phone. This phone is crazy, right to be told. But
yeah.
thank you, love.
C's could be C's too much. I know that name, but
Okay,
it's in it
okay.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Well,
a lot of people
I
that.
just wanted to. I was just coming on to make sure it was working for you. So I'm getting off. You see, I couldn't even figure out how to turn the camera off at the moment. I was like, ooh, look at my camera
Yeah,
slip.
yeah, right to be told. Thank you, girl. It's just crazy because this phone be doing
Okay.
too much.
Okay. Y'all have a good one. See you tonight,
You
Lady
too.
Tia.
Okay, like to be told.
I'll be
Thank you.
listening.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Happy
welcome.
Friday.
Oh yeah, I know who C's is now that she's
Okay.
here. I've seen
Okay.
her
Hey,
before.
Steve, how you doing?
How you doing? You see me? You hear me?
I can see you and hear you. Yes, ma'am. I just didn't want to. How sometimes trolls pop on the line. They show their body parts and stuff, and it
I
be too
know
much
I'm a real
going
person. I
on.
just came up here to let you know your live is on. You good? You good? I appreciate your live that you did. It's a couple of lives that you did that I really do appreciate, Miss O.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for
But
clicking the link. And like I said, yeah, I didn't mean no disrespect.
I get it. I
I
get
just
it. I
didn't
get it. No problem at all. Because
But now I know that you're an actual person. Please feel free to hit the link anytime you want to.
all right. It might not be for the next couple of days because I do work. I'm just playing hooky. I've been playing hooky for the past
Uh
5 days.
oh. You've been playing hooky.
I'm going back to work tomorrow, but I most definitely will because I got to take myself back. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's what I came to do to let you know that your link works. You good?
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna drop down and go back in the bushes and watch the program because I do enjoy your content.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That means a lot for you to say that. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mama, and have a good day.
You
You
too. And have a good weekend.
I gotta go back to the plantation, child. Ain't no
Uh-oh.
good week now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right, y'all.
have a
Okay. Have a
good
good one. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Miss Olivia. We was
Yes,
just
ma'am.
what made me say something about the lumping. You know how, because it has been a dirty game, if we think about all through the years in the beef sector. If
Yeah.
you associated with somebody, whatever they got going on, people lump you into that. I mean, it
Yeah.
it if everybody don't talk behind the scenes, everybody don't. email everybody. That shit, it's getting on my
Yeah,
nerves.
that's the Miss T Trisha. Thank you. Enjoy your day too, love. Thanks for joining me. But yeah, Lady Tia, it's too much, and the back that I don't do the back scene drama and stuff like that. And I think that the back scene drama is fueling a whole lot of this stuff.
Yeah, that exactly because of the vaccine. You remember it was a while when we didn't know what they was talking about when they was talking
Yeah,
about they was saying, "Oh, you don't know what's going on in the background in the vaccine." And I'm like, what they mean? What they mean in the vaccine? And then you start to see that it's people calling each other, emailing each other, and
hmm,
and everybody don't do that. Just because
right.
you like somebody, you hang around somebody virtually doesn't mean you hang
Hmm.
around them in your real life. You ain't.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
you're absolutely
I
right.
just I just got called out about it and I was like, man, you are so wrong and you so off. I don't have, our
Yeah.
relationship is not like that, but
Yeah. It was
it was
uncalled for what happened to you too. See, that's what I mean about these unprovoked attacks. It really, it smells like insecurity to me. Like, but how you gonna try to control grown people where they go and their Wi-Fi devices? That smells like insecurity to me. And I don't like the unprovoked attacks, Lady Tia. I don't like that.
and it's not even the, controlling where people go. Cause I mean, for the most part, I do see that a lot of people don't care about that. They go where they want to go. They really
Right,
do. But when you are associated with certain people, people just say, "Oh, you must be like that too. You must be like that too, and you
right.
must do stuff like that too." And
Right. And
you know,
everybody
I'm,
know nobody is messier than me. No, no, no. I am like superbly messy. You know what I mean? It's just real. It's like it be a lot going on, and a lot of times I started a whole lot. Let me give you a good example, lady. To you, I'm glad you said that because about controlling people. So yesterday, Spirit Boy had a live stream, right? And he very rarely clicks the link. I don't, I mean, he dropped his link. He dropped his link yesterday, right? So I'm in the room beforehand right now. Now, mind you, I realized when I clicked on, because I be in the bushes a lot, that this is a hostile environment, because I make it my business for a lot of people not to like me, right? So he dropped the link and Neanderthal gums hit the link, and then I likes to troll, right? But I know I can't trip on Spill It Boy's channel. So I clicked the link too, and I asked Spill It Boy a very messy question. Now I didn't say nothing to the Neanderthal at all, right? But I was trolling in my own way, very quietly, because if I want to holler, I can do it on my own channel. I don't feel like being entertaining on like that to that level on anybody's channel anymore, right? And so I read the room before I clicked the link. But this morning, Big Nasty Bubba Bree gets on there, and she gets so much joy out of people. I don't know. She's so anytime somebody says something about anybody other than her, she is overjoyed by it, not realizing the whole time that when you do stuff like that, you make it worse on yourself, bitch. That's why they talk about you like that. But anyway, honey, I was getting pummeled evidently down in the chat area, and I knew that was gonna happen. So that's why I didn't even. You can click the chat even when you up on the thing. You can see what's going on, right? I don't want to
Mhm.
respond to none of that stuff because I expect that when I click anybody link other than mine. So I didn't even listen to it. But she made a point to mention that. And I'm thinking, girl, are you
Y'all was
okay?
on live
Don't you
together.
think I read the room? Huh?
Y'all was on live together.
It was Spillet Boy's chat, and he dropped the link, and Nika jumped on, and then I jumped on really to troll, not to argue back and forth, but just cause she dropped it, just why I was like, let me troll because I read the room, and then a little bit after that, Duchess Kelly Love jumped up there, and a little bit after
Okay.
that, Big Fat Bubba Bree clicked the link to be messy, and then she mentioned it on her chat this morning, and I'm thinking, well, I had a hostile environment when I used to click your link. What's so special about it? Did you think I knew what was gonna go on? I done clicked the link to Sean Bradley's over there. You remember when I did that?
Yeah, y'all had it going on then.
Right. So what was so special about me doing the same thing on Spillet Boys chat yesterday? I got a history of it. Like, what's so special? And so
Mm.
it's just the insecurity for me, child. It
Well,
don't make no sense.
where y'all was able to talk to each other.
No, I didn't say nothing to her. And this is the you know they lie by proxy. So the issue was Bree saying, well, Lady Nika was up there and she was just so beautiful and she conducted herself like a lady. And Olivia tried to taunt her and she was not going for it. And she was just real quiet and didn't say nothing. Well, she was real quiet when it came to me because I didn't say nothing to her. I didn't say one thing to Lady Nika. I asked Spillet Boy, did he think that I was working with Sean Bradley? And Spillet Boy said no. I said nothing to her, nothing at all. So why would she say something to me? Do you see how they turn stuff around?
Yeah, well,
It's being narratives. That don't make no sense, Lady Tia. That's not that shows a lack of character, good character and integrity. The problem with what's going on with these streets is, people, every day they give you good examples of low moral standards and no goddamn integrity. They don't have no integrity. You know what I mean? And it's just real weird to me. Like I can't. And then when you show me who you are, that's gonna set me off, Lady Tia.
yeah,
And I'm just gonna come for you. That's why we was going through this stuff with a cave woman over there, because you showed me who you was. It's like that's it. That's all. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, Chad. I just really hated what happened with Miss Vonnie though. I really hated that. That was uncalled for. I'm like, you too old. You older than all of us, Watkins. Why you do her like that? Why you bring up her past? That man. I don't even know if he was around Lady T or saw none of that
yeah,
stuff.
Larry,
But that Larry Nelson dude,
yeah.
I really thought he was gonna do something to her, Lady Tia.
Yeah, I remember the story, and I don't know what's all real and what's not. I didn't even know that Miss Blessing Bunny got into it.
Well, I mean, they really didn't even see what happened was Bless been mad at Vonnie ever since Vonnie came up on her channel a while ago, and said that constructive criticism and said that you do be talking over people, right?
I remember
So,
that.
and she said she wasn't gonna come back in her chat no more, right? And she ain't been back over there. So the other day when Miss Vonnie was up on the panel, we were talking about racism. We weren't talking about nothing petty. We were talking about racism. Bless
Right.
gets on her live, I believe, yesterday and singles Vonnie out and said, you had the nerve to chastise me, and I saw you over there, and blah blah this, and Larry Nelson this, and blah blah that. And oh, she called her tweaky fingers, or talk, referencing, her fingers or her vajayjay or whatever, right? She said that about Vonnie.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, that came out of nowhere. That we
Oh,
weren't talking
damn.
about you. You know what I mean?
What did that have
So
to
I
do
guess
with
she felt the way,
racism?
huh?
What did that have to do with racism?
Nothing. It didn't have nothing to do with it, Lady Tia. Nothing. We weren't talking about her or not. Girl, we weren't being petty. You was on there. You know what we was talking
Yeah,
about.
I was.
Everybody know
Yeah,
what we was talking about on that video. Hey, viewers,
yeah,
if you and for her to go there, that really hurt me. Didn't even make Miss Vonnie mad because I saw her live stream. Miss Vonnie did a live stream and Miss Cruiser jumped on there and it hurt her feelings. Cause
yeah.
I guess Miss Vonnie was like, well, I could see if I was being petty towards you and calling you names or trying to bring up your past, but we wasn't discussing you or nothing. We wasn't even discussing nothing petty. But for Bless to get up on her and say what she said about that lady, that was absolutely that was uncalled for.
But yeah, the three ladies, Miss Cruiser, Miss Vonnie, and Miss Bless have a pass together, right?
Yes,
I thought
yes.
they were all friends.
Well, that's part of what Miss Vonnie was saying this morning. If she really had a problem with me, she could have picked up the phone and called me. She got my phone number.
Oh,
Vonnie and Bless, they older than me. Do you see what I'm saying? And so that was that. I think it was real hurtful for Miss Vonnie. And I had to say something. I don't like when people get bullets on account of me, but I didn't expect that coming from Bless because we wasn't talking about her. We weren't talking about nothing petty. You know what I mean? So that came out of left field. That was
right. Yeah, we
uncalled
can
for.
talk about conversations, and it don't have to be looped into. Oh, you must be caping for somebody. I mean, that
Right.
was a conversation about something way much bigger than a
Yeah.
beef sector. It
Yeah.
was a overall conversation that should be had as a collective, as a community. So
Yes.
I don't understand what Vonnie have had going on in her past had to do with that at all.
I don't either. I don't either. Like I said, the lady wasn't even hollering and screaming. Miss Vonnie, when she responded last night, she just sounded real hurt by it. For her to call her what she called her and mention her body parts, the way that she
Yeah.
did. That was
Everybody
that,
that
that
came, everybody that came on had great points. They
yes,
had great points to the topic they was talking about. It that they nobody was the topic. The topic was
yes,
about racism
yes,
and and that stuff happening. And we all came to the same conclusion. They
yes,
shouldn't be in our conversations when we having these type of conversation. If anything, I
right,
would think Ms. Bless would be on board to say,
right.
I agree, we shouldn't be, we got to make some changes on that. I would think that's what would be the response, not the say, oh well, you did this and you did this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. That was so uncalled for. I think she really what I think she was lashing out, and I think that she felt embarrassed about what went on her panel. Like I really do think and then she didn't want to walk it back, because she mentioned Miss Vonnie chastising her once before and all of this and all that. That she too old to be acting like it. It's ridiculous. It didn't make no sense for her to go there on that lady like that. Some people can take that bull crap, but Miss Vonnie was real hurt by the situation, and I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. But you know me, I don't mind coming on here and telling whoever whatever I feel about whatever. You know what I mean? But everybody
Right,
not like that. And that
right.
right there, that was real petty. That was real low class, and she didn't have to go there with that lady. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I hope Miss Bonnie. I mean, if I hope she didn't, take it to
Yeah.
heart too bad.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
it was definitely unnecessary. But people see,
Really
look,
embarrassed her.
we have to give each other more credit. We see what the bullshit is. We see
Yeah.
it, and some don't want to see it or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but we see it. We ain't stupid. And
Mm-hmm.
when we keep saying it, I mean, I know you said it's like the bottom of the barrel, and yes, we said it because we do. It's a lot of beefing, but at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, it's a lot of smart people down here. It's not a lot of broke people down here. It's not
Mm-hmm.
all of that mess. You know, all of us got a lot of different things going on in our life. So,
Yeah.
I think we don't give ourselves enough credit. And you
Mm-hmm.
see how the conversation went. You had a lot of people, you had 500 something people talking and engaging in that conversation, which
Mm-hmm.
lets you know people do want to talk about that.
Yes, people do want to be engaged. You know what I mean? And
Right.
but yeah, I just couldn't get why that particular conversation had to be taken to that level. That just really says a lot about a person's character. And I'm just keeping it a book. I'm not even being shady. For her to come out and say what she said, that just shows who you are. You're just real low class. Like you're really not even concerned about anything other than what's going on with your situation, because you felt embarrassed because you let that lady come up there and say that stuff. You want to lash out at somebody. It's horrible. And so
Right.
yeah,
And
I just
I
didn't like
think
it.
it seems like Miss Bless and Miss Bonnie they have a little strange relationship, and I don't know what happened in their past as
I don't either.
friends, or whatever. But it do
Mhm.
seem like it's an issue there. And Vonnie tried her best to be respectful to Miss
She
Bless. I don't
did.
see her do it many times that, she just be like, you know what, Miss Bless, I ain't got nothing bad to say about you. I'ma
Yeah,
just, I'll just back off or whatever. And
yeah,
that's what it should be. It
yeah.
should be
I
that way. But
agree.
it do seem like it's some type of animosity there. And
Yes, yes,
I mean, it's probably something we don't know, but
yeah,
it kind of shows a lot.
yes, yes.
And
You
I
can see
like
the
to see
passive
Miss
aggressive.
Bonnie and Bless together.
Huh?
I like to see them two together, but it's always they don't be clicking on the same page a lot.
Like oil and water, right?
Yeah, in a way, but I think Miss Bonnie do still. I mean, she definitely have a respect for Miss Bless, and that's
Hmm.
probably why she may felt a certain way.
Yeah. Well, Vonnie said, she told her, the last time they got into it on her show that, she was just, not going to, click on her page no more, not click on her panel anymore. Not that she wasn't going to watch, she just wasn't going to click on the, come up on the panel anymore. And she
Right.
hadn't done that. And maybe Bless felt a way about that too. And maybe it just was the bottom line when she seen her up on my panel the other day.
Yeah.
But like I said, she wasn't being petty.
Yeah.
She wasn't thinking about, she was talking about a serious subject. And so
Right.
child, make it make
Yeah, that
sense. All I
seemed to be
know
a
is
little
it's
bit
bad when
deeper.
you got to be way, way older than me, and with my messy self, when I have to be the adult in the room, it's an issue.
You
You know what I mean?
mhm,
Let me tell you,
mhm,
it's an issue when I gotta
mhm.
be an adult in the room, the adult in the room. You know, that's crazy to me, but I'm like, okay, girl, okay.
Yeah,
Child.
yes, you a mess. So you had to be the adult.
And I felt like I had to be the adult in the room this morning, Lady Chuck was like, well, hold up now, wait a minute. You know, that
I
was
gotta go check it
unprovoked.
out. I gotta go check it out. I didn't know you guys were all on the platform together.
Who's it? Oh, yesterday, yeah, Spill It Boys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was up there trolling.
Oh,
You know, I wasn't gonna be ignorant up there. You know, it's Spill It Boys platform or whatever. Then I wasn't even trying to be ignorant. You know what I mean? I'm just trying. I'm just like, girl, because you know, some folks think they in a popular. Hey, Ronnie Q. Some folks really think that they in a popularity contest for whatever reason. Child, Miss America, Miss YouTube. I don't know what the hell be going on, but me, I just be trying. I'm just messy. We all know this. You know,
well,
especially
well,
in that
for the
situation.
entertainment, well, for the entertainment purposes, seeing both of you guys on the
Mhm.
platform together, that's entertainment for us. We're looking
Exactly.
like,
I didn't even
okay,
have to argue with her. That was entertainment enough right there, right?
right, yeah, that's entertaining to see you guys up there together,
Yep.
especially with the beef that y'all in. Yeah, that's entertaining. We want to see y'all two talk or whatever. If y'all can't talk it out, y'all can't talk it out. It is what it is. Ain't
Mhm.
nobody out here trying to be a special. I need you to be
Mm-mm.
special to me, and I need. But yeah,
Right.
that's entertaining.
I didn't mention, I didn't say her name not one time. Now I did throw a little shot because she told a lie and tried to make everybody think I was working with Sean Brady in Club Chat, which that was a lie. And so my shot was to ask Spillet Boy if he believed that because he was in the situation. He was slapped
Hmm.
dead in the middle of the Vegas Gate situation. And when he said no, that was really that's all the confirmation that I needed because if he didn't think I was doing that, knowing that he is directly involved with the situation, then why that lie is not gonna hold water. And so that's why I did it.
Yeah, I know you're messy.
Let me read this. Lady Tia Champagne Honey says, "Hey Olivia, hey Champagne Honey, good morning. I definitely enjoy your messiness, because it comes from a place of teaching and entertainment. Thank you for noticing that, Champagne Honey. Lady Tia, and a lot of people get that too. You know what I mean? But a lot of people don't get it. But what I mean, some of y'all get it, and that's what's up. It's I think
Yeah,
some
he
of
get
us
it, but
hopefully
it,
I'm
it's
talking
what I have learned is we be trying to have kumbaya moments. I mean, legs, they call us the peacemaker. And, if I say something, then I'm like, okay, let's just try to get along. People like, hell no, we ain't trying to get along. We want to beef. And I just see that that's not going to work over here. So I was like,
to.
let me just hush, trying to be kumbaya because that shit it don't
Yeah,
work.
it
It
ain't
just
gonna work, Lady Tia. Then check it out. I'm tell you something else that don't work over here. Those alliances, they start to crumble after a while. You know what I mean?
yeah.
All you have to do is just sit back and watch.
Right, and
No.
that's why that goes back to me saying lumping people together just because the association doesn't mean that there's such a huge alliance. I'm not aligned with a whole bunch of people.
Right.
But I like who I like, and I like a lot of people, and I
Yeah.
feel freely to comment in their chats. Doesn't mean I got some alliance with them, and
Exactly. Yes,
I just
absolutely.
hate
I hate when people
with
have
it.
that mentality. Let me read this, Lady Tia. Free thinker Amity said, "It's your messiness that makes your message not sound self-righteous or judgmental." Thank you, free thinker, because that is what I exactly what I'm trying to achieve. You know what I mean? Thank you for saying that. I'm glad you got that. See, people really do be paying attention. You know what I mean, Lady Tia, and I appreciate that for real. Like I
Yeah,
really do.
right. What Stephanie say? She hope everything, hoping y'all can work it out. Y'all maybe will. Y'all maybe will. Y'all maybe won't. But it doesn't mean that the
Right.
subscribers or people that don't come on the stream yards and that's in the comments, would
Mhm.
want that or don't want that because at the end of the day,
You don't want it. Yeah.
they keep clarifying it's the beef sector. So you know
Right.
they when they say it's the beef sector, it's like they want you to align with somebody.
Right.
Like, why?
They
Why?
want you to beef. That's why we call it the beef
I
sector, because
know.
they
I
want you
know.
to beef. You ain't here to be making no child. Look at here. I don't
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'm not even gonna say that. But
I know.
she know what's up. I know what's up. You know what I mean? And that's what the deal is, you know. And so yeah. Hey, oh Sheila, you got to go back and listen to the beginning. But you know, some people know. Some people, um, I think some people miss the concept of the whole thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And since
that particular video was not about beef,
no,
um, at
no,
all.
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. That when you get back to the Vonnie Vine, you know that
Oh,
whole racism thing. Yeah, that wasn't about beef. Nope. There was just a real conversation, you know, about a real serious issue, you know. And like I said, Lady Tia, that's why I don't even do that content anymore. Because hey, Hoodoo Head Raps, how you doing, y'all? Of course, you read Bob back. Just wanted to say, hey, Hoodoo. But yeah, that was a serious conversation. But like I said, Lady Tia, there's a reason why I don't do that type of content anymore. Is because honestly, it's not even appreciated, you know, and people
Well,
feel away
I
about
have to
the
say
freaking
different.
content.
I have to
Uh,
say different. I have to say different. I saw a lot of community walls of different YouTubers that they enjoyed that the conversation was had. So maybe
really,
there is a paradigm shift going on because it was
yeah,
a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people that enjoyed the topic to where it floated around to Fi and all of that stuff. It was a lot.
uh-huh.
It was talked about a lot. So it did get the acknowledgement it needed. Maybe it didn't in the past, but it did this time. So,
Well,
you
that
know,
made me feel good. I didn't even know that. Thank you for telling me that. But look,
yeah,
Lady Tia, Free Thinker says when content creators act like a side must be chosen, it turns viewers such as myself off. The minute you try to control me, you will no longer see me. We are grown. I absolutely agree with that, Amethyst. I absolutely agree with that. It's not called for, and I don't like it. You know what I mean? Thank you, Blue Skies. Blue Skies said it was a great laugh. But yeah, maybe there is a shift going on, you know, and I don't see anything wrong with us having those conversations amongst ourselves, you know, about what's going on in our own community, in our own lives on a day-to-day basis. I don't see anything wrong with having that conversation, you know. And I hate that it was reduced to something petty because a black woman came up here and spoke her piece on a subject, a serious subject, you
right.
know. And I don't understand why she was attacked by another black woman for speaking her piece, especially when she wasn't even being petty towards that other black woman. You know, like
Right.
you diminish the conversation when you do that. You
You
know,
because it was like I think what was Miss Bunny was saying was she was the one who saying that she think it kind of went over Miss Bless head because I think so too. I think
yeah,
it went over her head.
mhm,
She didn't realize
yep,
what the lady was saying, and that's
yep,
an honest mistake. That ain't nothing to even jab at Miss Bless
nope,
about. She missed
right,
it. She
yep,
missed it. We
yep,
just did. We just didn't. You know.
yep. Yep, and that's why I want to have the conversation because I felt like she missed it, and I hope she didn't even take that the wrong way. Because you know that wasn't hey
Right.
share with that wasn't coming from a derogatory place. It's
Right.
just that I knew that I knew exactly what she was doing, you know, and so yeah, hey, I just didn't get it. I don't understand why, you know,
Well,
it just
yeah,
felt wrong to me.
With Ronnie Q identifying it. I was listening to the live with Ronnie Q identify it, and then once she got up there, and then she have her issues with certain other people's, and that's their territory in a sense over there. So it
Hmm.
got turned around, and I just like, dang, why everybody jumping on Ronnie Q
Hmm.
about something that she's, that is much bigger than what
Hmm.
everybody wants. I mean, whatever the beef is. I mean, Ronnie
Hmm.
Q caught something, and it seemed like she got beat up for it. And so I was
Hmm.
glad to see that you allowed, the conversation to go to where it needed to be centered, and allow Ronnie Q to let us hear exactly what the lady said, because I didn't hear what Gigi said until it was played over here
Hmm.
that Winnie Q had played it. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh, now I see what she's talking about. And
yeah,
yes, that would have went over some people's head if they
yeah.
wasn't paying attention. It
Right,
would have went
right,
over there. She was saying
right.
stuff about that young man's features, and
Mhm,
that's blatantly in your face to say he got a big nose, the things
mhm,
that they say about our
mhm,
features. So yeah, Ronnie Q just happened to catch it, and it just
mhm.
turned into something else. And so, yeah, I appreciate that you were able to,
Yeah.
see that and say, you know what, let's get to the bigger issue, Ronnie Q. I want
Mhm,
you to be able to get what you was trying to say, so we all can hear it and see where you was coming from, and we
mhm.
did.
Yeah,
Once we
and we
did it, we was
did.
like, oh,
Absolutely. And we did.
okay.
Yep,
But,
point blank, period. And we
yeah,
did. Yeah, that's another reason why I did the panel, Lady T. I'm glad you said that because I want to separate the serious issue from the mess. And on Bless panel, it kind of, like you said, Ronnie Q was attacked, for bringing up the issue. And then other stuff filtered in. But I felt like over here on this channel, we was able to filter out the mess from the actual conversation.
right. Well, he said,
So,
well, how you not catch it? And I don't know, maybe people didn't catch it because she came off like because she was talking about somebody else in her family. It didn't
right.
come off as she was directly saying anything to anyone. And I think that's how it got people didn't catch it.
Right, right. That's how, and it was so much going on, you know. But
Right.
yeah, they just didn't catch it. That's why I did the video. They just didn't catch it. A lot of
And
people
it
didn't catch
doesn't,
it. Hey,
yeah.
Justin, I like your content. Just let me read this. Lady Tia, Shell Whitfield said, "Oh, okay, Ronnie. I thought something happened between Miss Bliss and Miss Vonnie last night. I'm in and out. Yeah, something did happen. Shell. Bless got on her channel. She cussed out Vonnie Vine and she spoke real bad about Vonnie Vine when Vonnie Vine hit the link the other day to come up to talk about the issue concerning the racism incident that happened on Bless channel. And Bless evidently didn't appreciate it. She felt the way about it. So she attacked Vonnie Vine for no reason. And that's what we're talking about today, y'all, in case y'all just came in. But I just want to catch everybody up, Lady Tia.
Yeah, yeah. When Bonnie came up that day and you came up and everybody came up on the topic, apparently Miss Bless took offense to what Miss Bonnie said. Nobody else, but what Miss Bonnie said,
Right.
and Olivia saying, I guess she was, I don't know, brought up that old situation with Larry and was talking
Mm-hmm.
under her clothes, and
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't necessary. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
nobody was saying anything bad about Bless. We were just saying it got missed, and so
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about what got missed.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the smart show. Let's talk about what got missed. Absolutely. I mean, that was real extra for her to say. Talk about her fingers in relation to her, private part. It was just like way overboard
No,
for no reason. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
wow, you really going on for no reason? Child, it was too much
yeah.
about
I
such
don't
a
think.
spirit. But like I said, if we was being petty, then it would have been what it been. I wouldn't have been surprised. But by the fact that we
Right.
wasn't being petty that day, it really struck a nerve with me.
And like you said,
Mhm.
she out of all the people that came up, because a lot of people came up, everybody
Yes.
was coming up because they was engaging. For her to
Yep.
pick out Bunny, I don't get that.
I don't get it either. She just picked her up after just plucked her out of all the people that came up. It was Bonnie's day to be attacked. I guess I don't get that either. But like I said, Miss Bonnie was hurt by that. That's messed up to me. Uh huh. Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, well,
That's just
well,
how it was,
yeah,
child. That's just how it was. I didn't get it, and I still don't get it. And it's just real petty, just real silly. It's real
no,
day class A as well. It ain't even petty. That was just day class A. It was just girl,
yes,
girl.
unnecessary. Well, I'm going to continue to be the same way I've been. I know I can't get no peace in the beef sector, so I'm gonna start trying to do the kumbaya. That don't work.
Okay, just don't work, and
Um,
I'm gonna
but
continue being a messy
I know.
motherfucker that I am. Cause if I don't be messy, I be bored. Like it really don't be nothing going on.
Yeah,
Then
right.
I'll be glad when I kick up the dust coming through and kicking up the dust, Lady Tia. Why they
I
ain't glad
know
when I
you
kick
do.
up the dust?
I know you do. But yeah, I continue to be the same way. I don't have anything bad to say about anybody,
What
and
is
that's just the
Ronnie
way it is.
talking about in the chat? Ronnie, why don't you come up here and click the link? What you say, Lady Tia? I'm sorry.
I wait, weren't you? You did. Oh, I don't know. Something probably was said that you were that she was a part of the content. No, nobody wasn't a part of the content. The content was about racism and what the lady said. That's what we talked about.
Yeah,
Racism, and it stemmed from how she came and said some things that got missed. That's
right.
what the content was. That's what the topic was. And it just
Yeah,
led to everybody putting their heads together and giving different experiences and different situations. And it was a beautiful thing if you ask me. So,
yeah.
you know,
I thought it was too. I thought it was really positive. I thought it was really awesome that people, were willing to come up on the panel and speak about it. I thought that was
yeah.
awesome. You know what I mean? Just real talk.
Books were being listed. It was a lot of stuff going
Yeah.
on that
Hey,
it was
Ron.
a lot of stuff that was interesting. Just the conversation and the chat. Once the chat and everybody started engaging in the topic, it gets
Mm-hmm.
really interesting. And that's how we ended on there so long
Mm-hmm.
because it
Mm-hmm.
gets
Yeah.
interesting.
It was interesting. Yeah. Yeah. And I thought it was awesome. Shell Whitfield said there was a deep conversation and it needed to happen. It wasn't about anyone other than racism. You're absolutely right, Shell. That's what me and Lady Tia was up here talking about. I don't know how it turned around in Watkins' brain to what she took it when it came to Miss Vonnie. And Core Lover said, I mean Distant Lover said she called her turbo fingers. You see what I'm saying, Lady Tia? All of that
Oh,
ratchet stuff that was uncalled for.
oh, well, that was definitely unnecessary. Just her talking about racism, I don't get it. I don't even what did Miss Bonnie mention her name?
No, no, it wasn't even about that. No, no, she did not.
Mm,
Ronnie Q up here, you can ask Ronnie Q. I, on purpose steered Ronnie Q because Ronnie Q will pop off, right? And I
yes,
steered
I
her.
know.
I kept her. I wanted to keep her focused on the topic of the at hand, not the side
Right,
stuff.
right,
With Brianna and whatever else was going on there. I wanted to keep her focused on the topic of what she was saying about how she felt
right,
about Gigi's comment because Ronnie Q was absolutely on point
right.
up on that panel, and it got kicked by the wayside because of the petty crap, and I didn't want that to
Even
happen.
when Ronnie Q came up and she was starting to go there with Brianna them, you
Hmm.
stopped her. You was like, no,
Yeah,
that's not what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about the issue at hand, which is
right.
the
I wanted her to
racism.
stay
So
focused on it because the issue
right,
is far more important, than the petty
Excuse
right,
bull crap.
excuse
hey
me,
Ronnie
but
Q.
let's be clear. I didn't come
Mhm.
up there talking about Brianna. I
I
came up there
know.
talking about. I'm talking to Lady Tia. I came up
Mhm.
there
Right,
talking about my experience in the chat from the
Mhm.
time that I went in the chat.
right,
Before
right. Okay.
Gigi ever, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
before Gigi, because I'm not really into being interrupted every 2 or 3 words. Because what happened with Bless, that was really ridiculous. I was I did come up there in Olivia's chat, and Olivia did keep the conversation on what Gigi said. And when she
Mm-hmm.
told me that, I respected that, and I went on. I came in to, initially say what had happened throughout the entirety of the chat. See,
Okay.
because when Bless Watkins and Brianna tell their lies, nobody goes back to confirm if they're being lied to. And see, when I came into that chat, Lady Nika was already on something. I came into the middle of the chat. I asked a question, and a question ends with a question mark. I asked, did Sir King say Bree called him or gave him some information? Question mark at Bless Watkins. Nika decided to respond and said they cool. Bree wouldn't do that, and she didn't do it. And I said, "Oh, okay, who did it?" And then she came back and she said, "Oh, I don't know who did it." I said, "Oh, so you don't know who did it?" So and then she came back with something else, and then she came back with, "Are you cool with me? Did I do something to you?" I said, "No. What would make you think that?" And then she came back with something else, and I was cool. I wasn't disrespectful. I didn't say anything off limit. I didn't throw no shade. I was talking plainly and concisely.
That's what you was talking
And
about, Ronnie Q.
she asked me why would I think Bree would have done that? I said, well, she mind fucked her into making an apology. And then somebody told Bless, and then Bless go, "Oh, I didn't get mind fucked." Yeah, she got mind fucked. And then she later got mind fucked by the white girl saying, um, my father has a big forehead, and he has a we call it the she was saying nigger nose, but she just didn't say the word nigger, but she was like, and we call it the nose. And then so
he looks like a monkey, so therefore he looks like a black person. So she said that out of her own mouth, and Bless Watkins was like, "Oh, I don't think that's what she meant." When somebody questioned Bless Watkins, by then,
Oh.
somebody, one of the mods, had already blocked me, so I wasn't gonna go up there and tell this. So when Duchess Kelly Love went live, I talked about it. I was like, I got blocked for something far less than what this white woman went up there and said, because this her father had a protruding forehead and a nose and looked like a monkey, he therefore looked like a black person. And Bless says that's not what she meant. And then the next thing I know, there's somebody tells me that Bless is live with my name in the title. I go over there and listen, and Bless tells me she didn't play the whole thing. I said that's not what she meant, and I was responding to a question. I played the entire thing. And she kept on interrupting me, saying, "You didn't play the whole thing. You can go to Duchess Kelly Love, and you can hear I played the whole thing. I played the whole thing over here. Why would I just play her responding to a person?" See, the facts matter. And then Bree gets on her live and say, "This was not a question. She was saying it as fact. This is not a question." She said about 5 or 6 times that what I said was not a question. And then she's reading, "This is what Ronnie Q said. Oh, so Bree gave Sir King the message, da da da." Now you're looking at the text with a question mark behind it. I posted it in Lipstick Alley. It was a question, but they trying to say like I made a statement of fact or trying to put lies out there when they're the ones sitting up lying. And if you posting receipts, she show every other receipt. How come she didn't show what she was reading that I had allegedly said that was a statement? See, a bunch of lies. Oh, she's mad. Now she's admitting that she lied on me in the beginning. And that's the whole thing about it. That's the only thing that I'm mad about. Don't lie on me. And then she turns around and lies on me again. But see, the proof is already out there. And like I was telling Bless, you can go back and read your chat. I didn't say anything disrespectful to Nika. And then when Nika get on, and I said, "What did I say disrespectful to you? What did I say out of line to you?" And then well, you said, and she couldn't think of anything. And then she pivots to, "Well, you made me feel," and I was like, "Fuck how you feel. I want to know what I said." And that's what I meant. Because first of all, don't come in here questioning me with all these questions, and I don't disrespect you, and you still find a reason to block me, but then you let a white chick sit up there and say because of certain features that look like a monkey, that person is looks like a black person, and you idiots don't find anything wrong with that, and actually come out of your mouth and say, "Oh, that's not what she meant," but you blocking me about some. And so Lady Nika, "Oh, you made me feel," and I said, "Fuck how you feel. What did I say that was disrespectful or anything to get blocked?" And then she turned around and said, "Well, I spoke to you in Duchess Kelly Love's chat on yesterday, and you didn't speak back." So what did that tell you? Nika was already on some bullshit when I came into the chat. And then I was like, "You're a lie," because I never have not speaking to Lady Nika. And then she goes into, "Yeah, well, I be seeing her in other people's chat, but I didn't know we have a problem." So now she's bringing up Olivia. So, and then they try to make it seem like, "Oh, I brought up Olivia." No, she brought up Olivia. So you see me in other people's chat. I speak to you every time you see me. And then you're going to turn around and say, "Oh, it was about something yesterday. You didn't speak to me." Now it's like you lie. And I said, "I post the receipts." And then I went to Duchess Kelly Love to post the receipts. And I realized I wasn't even in Duchess Kelly Love's chat that day because Duchess Kelly Love went live late and he went live at 4:30 something. And I was busy. So, I mean, just the lies on top of lies on top of lies. But
Wow.
her not being able to state what I did and then come pulling out, "Oh, you didn't speak to me yesterday." Okay, so if somebody misspeaking to you, it's a problem. But if you misspeaking to somebody else, we have enough common sense to know you may have just missed that. But the simple fact of the matter was, I wasn't even in the chat at all that day.
Ain't that some lies? Just it's the lies for me too, Ronnie Q. I just want to say that even Shell Whitfield said I saw it in real time. It was a question that they so silly and so insecure, you know what I mean, to where they took a serious subject and turned it into something petty. They turned around and made it back into them. And that's what I didn't appreciate. And that's why I had you come up, you know, to get at what you were saying about the fact that she pretty much called people a monkey, call black people a monkey on a black person's panel, but they so
Yeah.
silly that they just missed that. They missed the real issue. I'm thinking, oh, y'all really saying that this worried about somebody spoke to you or not? You worried about this, that, and the other? This white woman came up here and called us monkeys. And you're not worried about it, and you niggas explaining for her, oh, she didn't mean it like that. Like, what you mean? What
You
you
know
mean
what?
she didn't mean it right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
Monica.
truth. Let me say this, y'all. Truth revealed said twice in the chat. Curse to Watkins is live dragging Olivia now. Watkins is real. Don't nobody care about that old battle axe, and don't nobody care what her old decrepit ass got to say. The bitch act like she's suffering from dementia, and I don't give a fuck about Bless Watkins or none of them motherfuckers. And that's why I come over here and I drag their motherfucking ass and I debunk their motherfucking lies. And they don't like Ronnie Q when she do that shit too, cause the bitches play too much. That's what I be saying. So anytime I get ready, she double down on the black female because she a stupid bitch. That's what's wrong with it. Ain't nobody got time for that bullshit, bitch. And by the fact that you didn't understand what Ronnie Q was trying to say and you reduced it into some petty ass bullshit was beyond me. It was not cool. It was absolutely unacceptable. And she don't and like she don't like criticism. Bless Watkins don't like when nobody call her out on her efforty and her lies. None of them do. Watkins, Nika, Brianna, none of them. None of them over there like you when they call their motherfucking ass out on their bullshit. And then you got a lot of other people over there that just like them and they like that low class type shit. Okay? They don't like to be called out on their bullshit. And that's what
And
really
Bingo.
pisses me off.
And Miss Olivia,
Bingo.
well, Ronnie Q, like you had said, when Lady Nika came at you, she already had some animosity.
Right.
That happened to me.
Yep.
You know, me and Lex do the show together with
Yep.
Ty, and that last show we had, Lady Nika was on the panel. I mean, the first time, she was on there because we usually start out the show, and Lex and Lady Nika are cool, and I ain't got nothing to against Lady Nika, but when she came up on there, I was trying to, because we try to start the show off, talking about how our week went or whatever, and she just had this type of
Mm-hmm.
demeanor or energy, like she was mad at me. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "What everybody drinking?" It was like, and it was like that. It was like a like,
Mm-hmm.
and I know it had to do with the fact that she know that I like you, and I'm like, well, dang it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to lighten the mood. We hear that talk about hot topics and conversation, cocktails and conversation, and
Mm-hmm.
you coming off like you got some animosity towards me that you. I mean, I was like, come on, loosen up or something. Why you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just seemed like she was upset, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, that's not what we here for. It
Mm-hmm.
was her demeanor seemed like she had some
Mm-hmm.
issue with me because she know I frequent your chat, and I'm just like, well, damn, I mean, it could have been just me, Lex, and Ty, and that would have been cool. But
Mm-hmm.
the energy you brought was like negative energy, and I ain't even know that you had that energy towards me. I
Mm-hmm.
was just trying to get everybody loosened up. We starting out what everybody did all week, and it just seemed like every topic that we was on, she was totally against me, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh.
Well, she did King's Mina like that yesterday, and King's Mina is a mod for Nika, and she went in on King's Mina. Now she tried to pull it back, but she don't. They play. They so immature, and they suffer from delayed shit. They delayed in their mentality, and anybody that they feel is not on their side, or anybody that they going at, and they take it to heart. They so insecure that it's beyond me. They developmentally delayed. The whole thing is just weird. You know what I mean? And it's just uncalled for, and
It
it's
make
just
you feel
so
like
silly.
it make you feel
Can
like you
can
got
I
some power and they don't even realize it. They gave you
Can I
And
say
something
then
something?
to
let me wait a minute, Ronnie Q. Just let me say this one last thing. She tried to get me and Lex into it, the other day, by mentioning
Mhm.
whatever she said was, but I came back and I called it out because I ain't got no problem with Lex. Yes, she unmodded Lex from the chat, from her chat, and
Mhm.
all that made it seem like I modded Lex because me and Nika was going at it. And yeah, Arrested Development, thank you. Trying to make it seem like it was a problem cause Lex liked Lady Nika. You know what I mean? Then I unmodded and I said, like I said the other day, I modded Lex because and you because I knew it was getting ready to get messy. And I didn't want y'all in the middle of it because it ain't no, I don't want nobody being collateral damage when I decide to go at Nika or anybody else. But she turned it all the way around and made it seem like I was mad at Lex because they cool.
Dang, I didn't
And
know she
and
went
let me
on
say
Twitter.
this. Let me say this. And then for them to try to change what they entirely tried to change what Gigi said. They said
Yeah.
over 100 times she
Mm-hmm.
was talking about her family. She
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even talking about. She was talking about people. She was talking about her family. They repeated that over and
Mm-hmm.
over again as
Mm-hmm.
if the Gigi didn't say that her family member has features of a monkey,
Mm-hmm.
therefore he looked like a black person. And
Mm-hmm.
she didn't even say nothing. And then,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's get to Kiki because I was back and forth, and then when I was trying to connect to the thing, I was having trouble connecting. So I didn't hear all the dumb shit that Kiki said. And he had actually had the nerve to say that I bring race into everything. And as soon as I got on the panel, he didn't have nothing to say. But see, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know he had said all this deplorable shit. But he didn't have nothing to say about Gigi saying that because
Mm-hmm.
that family member had features like a monkey, it looked like a black person. But gonna talk about I bring race into everything when that woman just sat up there and clowned you fools. And
Yep,
he
in
sitting
their
there saying,
face.
Ronnie Q this and Ronnie Q that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me? Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, just a total idiot. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm the bad person.
Yep, they the fool. Like he just said, they cleaned it up better than Gigi could ever do. Yes, they did clean it up because they know they was wrong for co-signing that bullshit that white woman was up there saying. But like the person said, they cleaned it up better than Gigi could clean it up because yes, they did in order to fit their
Yep.
own narrative. In order
And
to
do
fit their
y'all
own, they throw their
In
own
order
people
to
under the
mess
bus.
with me. In
Yep.
order to mess with me. Now, all before I was on there, they was breathe this, breathe that, breathe this, breathe that. And then
Right.
when I want to counter, oh, we're not talking about breathe. Oh, now when I get on the panel, oh, now all of a sudden we're not talking about breathe. Because like I say, I don't like being lied on.
I
And
don't
that's
either.
where it all started. And Bless sitting up here lying, that's where it all
Their
started.
ass off.
Nika sitting up here trying to play victim to
Mhm.
me not speaking to her in a chat that I wasn't even in. So therefore, she got her fucking dentures all loose to come get at me. That's where it all started. See, they
Mhm.
want to start the shit and then Bless talking over me I get 2 words out and she yelling and screaming over me and then say, "Oh, she want to talk for 3 or 5 minutes." I couldn't even get 3 words out, and her old ass was talking all over me because she didn't want the facts to get out. And she
I
said
mean,
I didn't play. I gave her the time stamp
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
what I played. I said,
Mhm.
I have the time stamp. This is what I played. And she all yelling and screaming over the
Mhm.
time stamp and stuff. I ain't got to lie. Everything's
Mhm.
recorded. Everything's recorded. These idiots
and
are dumb, but it's about me.
Right. Can I
yeah,
say this, y'all, real fast?
go,
Free
baby.
Thinker says, because it's a good point, y'all. Free Thinker Anthony says it was not the time or the place for the lady to share that information. Gigi has a history of making problematic statements. She should have set that convo out. Yes, she did. She also has a history of jumping on black people's panels when they're having a conversation about race. You know what I mean? And also King's Mina, because we mentioned her name. King's Mina said the thing is, I think she missed the part when I said it was wrong about the Baron comment, but I understand you will say whatever when you're fighting, but it's okay because I like. Because, like I said, I try to be neutral, and I just want to get that out there, King's Mina, because you were being neutral. Do you see what I'm saying? And she also said, Amethyst also said, a woman previously had said a black man, quote unquote, sounded like a thug, and she called the same black man a boy. And then King's Mina says, I like both of you have. She said, I like both of you. However, I'm grown and I have my opinion to voice it, to voice. So it was what it is. Like you said, that comment isn't just offensive to Olivia, it touches many of her subscribers. And King's Many, y'all is talking about when Nika got up there and start calling people barren and stuff like that. Like me, I'm too old for that stuff to bother me. Because like I said, my sisters had babies for me. But what about the women out there that are not my age, that are still of childbearing age, and they want to have kids and they can't? See, it's all that little silly stuff that they do, and they're real offenses to people, and they try to cover up their lies with a whole bunch of bull crap.
What woman her age think is cute or don't
Right.
understand that saying stuff like that about trying to take shots at you being barren and don't know how many of her followers
Right.
can't or are trying and struggling to have kids.
Right.
So what's
Right.
so cute about it? Yeah, a
Right.
dog can have some puppies, but how you raise them? You
Yes.
talking about you were a mistress and you sitting up here, a old bat who teeth about to fall out her head,
Mm-hmm.
worrying about smoking weed and all this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about your seed, what is your seed? See,
Mm.
if you have a kid, that's one thing. But what
Mm-hmm.
kind of mother were you? Because we
Yes.
see what kind of person you are.
Yes. Yes. You're
And
absolutely right
not
about
only
that.
that, her chat were, I mean, it's obvious. I understand people do want to keep subscribers, but the chat was saying, why you keep dealing with this woman? The chat didn't like Gigi up there anyways. And it seems that
Mm.
Gigi, on her ignorance, the only thing she thought that she can add to the conversation was that talking about features.
Mm.
And I guess that was her way to say, I can relate to y'all because I got a such and such in my family that got y'all features.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was her. That was her. Getting up there. Pretty much playing in black people faces. You know what I mean? That's how she was doing it, honestly. Cause she, like I said, she got a history of this type of behavior. Many times over. Let me read this. Shell Whitfield says, if white women were discussing blonde privilege, I wouldn't jump on their panel. I have nothing to add. Exactly. It's not. It isn't my struggle. There was no reason for that woman to give her 2 cents on average. Because, see, initially they were talking about colorism in the black community. So why would Gigi come up here to interject on a conversation about colorism in the black community when she's not black? You have never been affected by colorism in any way in the black community. You're not black. Why would you jump up on that panel? See,
because
that
she
was
knew who panel to jump on because Bless is a dingbat. And if Bless
right.
had any sense, she'd have told her, we're talking about this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
It
done seen her do it before. That she done,
Mhm.
that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we talking about to other people. So I don't know. I don't understand why, she didn't just shut her down then, or, took that opportunity to be like, wait a minute, what you talking about?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
or whatever. But yeah, the chat was totally against her, Gigi, the whole time. They was like, we don't like her. Bless. We keep telling you this woman, she don't like us. She not for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. She didn't have no place, in that conversation. I don't know why she was allowed to sit up there and do that. Do you see what I'm saying? Hoodoo says because Gigi was made to feel comfortable. She was absolutely made to feel comfortable. She read the room. She know they was acting real stupid and sounding real dumb up there. So she got up there and she did what she did and she said what she said because she was allowed to. Do you see what I'm saying? True Blood said Olivia never has to go to a pantry. Nika has adult children and still had to go ask strangers for help. The Baron comment only made me question where her children were in those times. You're absolutely right about that. You know what I mean? Like it goes to her, like, girl, I just make yourself look bad. That just looks silly.
I get, Miss Olivia, what really bothers me and it gets me upset is people think because we're pro black that we hate white people.
Right. That's not the
That's
case.
not the case. We
Right.
just we just down for our people first, and you
Yeah.
should be down for your people first. I
Yeah.
mean, even I always say this: any race that discriminates their own race is self hate. Even if it's white people that hate their own white people, it's self hate. No matter how you put it, if you
Right.
rep who you are, stand in who you are, and if you are a proud white woman, say that, stand in that. I'm a proud
Right.
white woman, so I'm gonna stand in that. So I
Mhm.
don't understand why people think that we supposed to teach white people how to treat us,
Right.
how to what they need to know about us. That's not our job to do that. I'm so
Yeah.
tired of that narrative. We do not have to teach them anything.
Yeah, Ronnie Q said her phone died. But see, here's the thing, Lady T, you absolutely right about that. My thing was with that whole conversation, like she should have never been allowed to be up her on a surface level. You can't, you don't have any stories, or any points of reference or any advice or any wisdom when it comes to colorism in the black community because you are not a black person. So why she was allowed to sit up there and do that is beyond me in the first place. You clearly, can't add to this conversation. And like
Right,
Hoodoo said, and afterwards she was coddled afterwards. After she said all that ratchet stuff, she was coddled, but she didn't have no business up there in the first place, is all I'm
right.
trying to
It's
say.
nothing wrong with having it's nothing wrong with having allies. If
Right.
you are ally and you want to fight for our cause as well, do that. But you can't be in the conversations of something you can't relate to.
Right. She just couldn't relate to it. It wasn't even, I mean, just like I said, surface level. Why would you even click the link and you can't even relate to the conversation? Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
It didn't even have to go that deep. All she had to do was not interject. I mean, we're talking about freaking colorism within the black community. We wasn't even,
Right.
they hadn't even branched out to the racism part because colorism, as we know, and racism, they are two different conversations. So
You
if
know
you
how
if
they
you
do,
want
Miss
to
Olivia.
if you want to share, what you got to say about racism as it pertains to white people, okay.
Hmm.
But that ain't
Right.
what they was talking about. They were talking about colorism in the black community among black people.
Right. Right. And there's nothing, like you said, it's nothing wrong with being an ally, but that was the time where you're like, okay, I'll drop down in the comment because I can't relate. I can't add to it, so I'll just jump down
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah, I
And
just
she was
listened.
very bold to,
Right.
in her ignorance, to think that her saying what she said was contributing.
Yes, in any way. It just did, like Hoodoo said, an ally would have known to stand down on that conversation. I'm just saying. And you're absolutely right about that. It just wasn't the time. Like you couldn't contribute nothing to that conversation. That's all I was saying. Girl, I didn't get it. It was
Yeah,
uncalled
that
for.
was very bold.
Yes, it
Very
was. It was
bold.
very bold of her because she knew that if say we were having this conversation, we having this conversation now on my panel. She know that she
Mhm.
can't click my link and say nothing on my channel about the conversation that we're having right now. But for her to be so emboldened and know that she could come up on Bless channel and pull that crap out, that says more about Bless and the level of ignorance that is twerking around over there in Bless panel because she absolutely made a bold move when she clicked that link and she came up and said what she said. She did that because she knew she could get away with it.
And
You
they
know.
love to jump. They love to jump in our conversations when we're
Yeah,
not even talking about them. That this was something that conversation which led to what you have in your life. That's why I was telling you it may be a paradigm shift because everybody was talking about it. It was content for people for the right reasons.
right,
and
right,
and that's how we start. We start getting to the root. I always said when it came down to slavery and stuff like that, even in this day and age, we have not healed from the wounds that we already been hit at. And when you
right,
come hitting that same wound and keep opening that same wound over
right,
and over, we're not getting anywhere. So when you have someone jump in the conversation that can't even contribute to the
Right.
wounds that still keep getting hit. You, you just wasn't needed at all. We are
And
trying to, in
and
that
colorism and
space, we're trying to
colorism.
work on ourselves.
Yeah.
We're trying to work
Yes.
as a collective on ourselves.
Yes, that's all I was gonna say. And colorism is one of those wounds that need to be healed that we don't address. That go all the way back to slavery, the field nigga against the house nigga, that whole syndrome right there. So colorism is a result of that whole thing. Happening to our ancestors, and it's still a problem right today. So why would you interject in that conversation? It's just plain and simple. And so yeah, it's just crazy to me. It just was not the time or the place. But Lydia Belly said she knew exactly what she said and did. Systemic racism is not blatant acts, but subliminal. Yes, many times they are. And but you have to be aware of what's going on. In the conversation, to be able to recognize when it's subliminal. And so yeah, and
And
it's
they don't have
unfortunate.
colorism issues, Miss
No,
Olivia.
they
They don't.
don't.
They have the privileged versus the poor of their race.
Right. They
That's
have
you know
classism. Yes.
yeah, that's what they have. They don't understand colorism because they're not in different tones. We have our
Right.
light skin, our brown skin, our dark skin, so they don't even understand it because it doesn't
Right.
even applies to them.
Right. It don't apply. And so, which is the reason why she didn't have not. She couldn't share nothing to the conversation. She couldn't share. She couldn't add anything to the conversation. That's my issue right there. Very surface level. She knew that she couldn't add anything to this conversation. She's never had to deal with anything like that. You know. And so yeah, that was my issue.
Well,
You
maybe
know.
she
Yeah.
thought because somebody in her family got the black features, she's able to say, "Okay, I know what you're
I don't
talking
even
about."
believe that. I think that was a lie. I think she said that to get up there and call black people monkeys. She spent that whole narrative and that whole weak conversation just in order to get up there. And I broke that down what she was really saying.
Hmm.
And that was the sole purpose of her doing it. It was just real lame. And she did it because she knew that she could over there on that panel. Over here, she can't do that. But over there, she did it. And so yeah. And so
Yeah,
yeah.
we ain't
It's
got we ain't got nothing against y'all that we want to hurt you or things like that. Now you do something crazy, that's another thing. But it's just because we're pro black doesn't mean that we hate white people. That's just not the
It
case.
wasn't even talking about racism because when you start talking about racism, you are talking about every other ethnicity of people
Mm.
being racist towards black people. But when you're talking about colorism in the black community, the conversation should be between black people.
Right,
you
right.
know, so
Yeah,
that was my
and
issue.
with racism, I see it being that as a business owner, I can go into these wholesale stores, and when I tell you, I've experienced the Arabs. They do not like us. They don't like us at all.
Mm-mm.
And
They like
so
your money though.
racism happens in all ethnicities, and they set up in our shops, but they won't hire our people. They
Hmm.
don't want when I first started out, it's this um Arab store that I don't frequent a lot or whatever. And so I was starting out, I was like, can I set up here in front of your store? And he was like, uh-uh, I can't do that. You're not a part of our family. And if only we did that, we will be a little bit much further. But yeah, they stand by that, and they did not want a black woman in front of their store, selling anything in front of their store. They don't like us. They just set up shop because they know that we are consumers. So
Yeah,
look, they come in our store. Yeah, we're gonna set up shop right in y'all neighborhoods. We really don't like y'all here, but we'll take y'all money.
right. But we'll take him, like Ronnie Q said. But they're not gonna buy nothing from you. Oops, sorry, I mic'd myself. But they're not gonna buy nothing from us. But they want us to spend our money with them. And unfortunately, that is exactly what we do many times.
It's
We
a
won't support. Uh oh.
Miss Olivia. It's a lady in my city, and she has her own beauty salon store. She actually made the news talking about how discrimination of when it comes to
Not
just
myself.
getting.
Got the chat again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, she was talking about how, the good hair that she want to have in her salon, I mean in her beauty supply store, that when she go, because we ain't got no distribution company, so we have to go to the Arab distribution companies and get their stuff, and they would not sell her the good hair, the quote unquote good hair that the girls
Mm,
like to wear. They wouldn't even
mm,
sell it to her. She
mm,
can't have the good stuff in her own salon. And that's one, I mean, her store. And I push for that, that we do that, because our people spend a lot of money in the hair stores. And she
mm,
done took the initiative, go ahead and start up her hair store. And I patronize her a lot, but it's a lot of stuff she don't have because they won't even let her get it.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
that's
is
how they lock you out of the beauty industry that caters to your own people, because
hmm
they manufacture the goods. And so they can choose to sell you the good stuff or not. Basically I know exactly what you're saying, but I saw videos of black people wanting to open, hair stores and stuff like that, but they can't get the supplies, because
right.
they won't sell it to them. They freeze them out of the whole industry. They freeze them out. And so
That's
yeah.
an and that's another struggle that people don't talk about, that we deal with. It's things
Right.
that we don't have access to. We're less likely to get these loans for to get a be a homeowner and things like that.
Mhm.
They make us go through all this red tape for a lot of stuff. That's the discrimination that we
Mhm.
go through on a regular basis. So when you got some woman coming in talking about um this and that or whatever. Like, girl, hush, because you don't even know what the things
Mhm.
that we deal with just trying to be successful.
Right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I absolutely agree. That's why she didn't have nothing to do with the conversation. She can't even relate. And she didn't want to relate. And so yeah, she didn't even want to relate. And E said is stopping, trying to stopping generational wealth. And that's a great point, because you're right about that. It is hindering your generational wealth. Yes, absolutely it is. Lily of the Valley says, I'm 53 and biracial. I have experienced racism from both sides, black and white. I have never met my white grandparents, as my life would have been ended had I ever been there in their presence. Wow, that's deep. Tula says black people spend $9.2 billion in the beauty industry, and less than 0.03% comes back into our black community. Google, yeah, you're absolutely right, Tallulah. And a lot of the times, black entrepreneurs, they are, like Lady Tia was explaining, they are froze out of the beauty industry on all levels. Not only are they froze out of the beauty industries when it comes to opening the hair stores and stuff like that, they're also froze out of beauty industries, like when it comes to models, when it comes to black, makeup lines and stuff like that. They make it real harder for you. There's somebody on YouTube by the name of what is her name? She used to talk about it all the time. She's a makeup guru on her, Lady Tia. Oh, I can't think of her name. She's real popular in the makeup side over there. The black woman.
It's a lot of them.
Oh, what is her name? I can't even think of her name right now. But she used to talk about it all the time, how they freeze black people out of the beauty
hmm
industry, even on the makeup artist side of it. She used to do
Yep.
the makeup reviews. What is her name? It was on the tip of my tongue. Oh, I can't think of her name, that black girl's name.
Somebody was
Oh.
asking a question in the chat. My brother, he has his firstborn. Her mother is white, and
Mm-hmm.
the stuff that she has cried to us and told us about her grandmother is in her 90s. And
Mm-hmm.
every time my niece, get in trouble or something, she
Mm-hmm.
say to her, oh, that's that black side of you, or that's
Mm-hmm.
that nigga side of you. She
Oh
gets
no.
treated very poorly from
Jackie Aina.
her grandma's side. And it's not her mom, it's her grandma.
Yeah.
And those older white women, yeah,
Yeah.
she probably was darn near ready to disown her daughter because she had a baby from my brother. But yeah,
Oh
my
yeah.
niece has been through a
Oh
lot
yeah.
being biracial
Oh
from
yeah.
her white side, because anytime she do something wrong, they blame that.
Yeah. And it's so
So
and
it's
it's so hurtful. And that's just her name who don't have Jackie Aina. That's what I'm talking about. Hey Lex, how you doing? But yeah, I'm talking about Jackie Aina. That's exactly who I'm
mhm,
talking about. She talks a lot about racism in the beauty industry. Or at least she used to talk about it. She got in a lot of trouble with some of the other non-black makeup artists, a while ago, and child, she was swinging for her life around it because she brought up the fact that how black people are discriminated against in the beauty industry. So
Right.
that's her name, Jackie Aina.
And Lady Lovely T have talked about that too. She done
Yeah.
talked about how certain stuff she talk about, they won't monetize it, and she
Hmm.
gets in trouble behind certain things that she put content out on, and she always say they're not doing that to our
Yeah.
counterparts. They're not doing that.
Right. Right. You're right. Season of the Witch said that's why I love Rihanna Fenty. And how she's branching out, doing everything. Yeah, you're right about that. I agree. And not only Rihanna, it's a couple of them. I like. Have you guys ever heard of Pat McGrath? Her makeup products, I love her. She's got a $1 million makeup line and stuff like that. And so yeah, there are a couple of them, but by the fact that we as black women in particular spend so much money on beauty products and stuff, for the fact that we are frozen out like that is beyond me. And they do that for a reason. They don't want you to garner any type of wealth in that industry when there's but we're spending billions of dollars every year on that sort of thing. And so it's just crazy. But that's how it is. That's another form of systemic racism.
Right. Hey,
And
Miss
so,
View.
yeah. Hey, Miss View.
Hello. Excuse me. Good morning. Hello, Miss Olivia, and hello, Lady
Mhm.
Tia. How are you all doing?
Oh,
Good.
fine.
I just want to come on real quick and mention that that conversation that I guess Bless Watkins was having, and then she let Gigi on. Why do white folks always want to get into our damn business? That was not the time and the place for her to insert her family facial features. She reminds me of that friend that you get or whatever, like you'll tell them like, child, had to get my toe cut off and this was horrible. And then before you can even finish what you're saying, child, is nothing like when I had to get my arm cut off. Sometimes people one up people on situations that that has nothing to do with what's going on. I thought you all were having a really nice conversation. Well, at some point, even though it was on that lady's channel, but the fact that she just inserted herself in there, and then she ended up cussing me out, cussing you out, and cussing out a whole lot of other people. I'm like, why are you mad? Why are you mad? Because of you inserted yourself someplace that you didn't think anybody was going to say anything. You didn't think
Right.
anybody was going to call you out. Of
Yep.
course, you needed to be called out, and the person who had the panel needed to be called out. That
Yep.
lady, blessed lady, she's pure nuts,
Yes, she
and
is.
she just
View. Truth Reveal said Olivia Watkins is showing photos of you and mocking you. Let me tell you something, Truth. The reason why Bless is obsessed over my photos is because in her mind she's in some kind of competition. Lady, you are older than me. Get over yourself. A lot of women are surface level and they real catty and they're real obsessed over her looks, and she don't want to admit to herself how old she is. But that is a personal issue. She can show my pictures from now until the end of time, and I still am gonna forever look younger than her. That's her issue. It's not my issue. So let her show my pictures and be obsessed over me all she want to. She just real ignorant, and I don't care. She is an old battle axe. I'm sorry, View. Go ahead and continue. I'm
no, I
sorry.
saw I saw those photos, and if looking at those photos, if you had to pick which one was the grandmother, it would definitely be her. You look like you could have been her grandchild. Okay,
I
take
know.
that, Les Watkins.
I know. She a whole weirdo. She is weird. She is some kind of freaky competition that against me when it comes to me, but she the only one in the competition. I'm not competing with her about no looks. She competing with me. But like I said, child, she the only one in that competition. So let her have it, okay?
Well,
She can
a
have
lot of they keep telling her, "Oh, you look so young. You look so young." She don't look young to
it.
me. She doesn't
Nope.
sound young. She doesn't speak young. She doesn't act young.
Mm-mm.
Nothing about her means young or equals young. She might have at one
Mm-mm.
point been young, but even
Mm-hmm.
then, I saw an earlier picture of her. She still looked old when she was young.
She look like
So
a boy in a wig. Mm-hmm.
her wigs look old. Everything
Mm-hmm.
about her look an old lady Watkins girl. And I think I'm
Child.
older than all of y'all. I think I am. I don't know what the actual number is on any of these motherfuckers, but god damn. All right, I
I'm
gotta
more
get off here. I love you. I love
okay.
all of y'all. Bye bye.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Bill.
Promise.
I'm more worried about wisdom. Do you see what I'm saying? I had my time when I was young. You know what I mean? And after a certain time, you start worrying about wisdom. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not worried about how I look. I look just fine. Ain't nobody complaining about it in my life. Like I said, she in a whole competition by herself. That my issue is not her issue. Let her have that. Let her do her due diligence. She is a whole weirdo, okay? But I want to read this. Miss Alfreda Gross, good morning, says, my grandbabies are biracial. I love them. Color has nothing to do with it. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right about that. But yeah, that woman in competition with herself, Lady Tia.
Yeah, well, I don't think Miss Bless is ugly. I don't think you are ugly. So when it comes to the looks things, it's just like, okay, let's grow up.
Child,
That's probably some stuff that we would do, and I'm
this
growing.
child,
We
this
are
high
growing.
school shit. Now you know it's high school stuff, Lady Tia, and she older than both of us. That's weird, but child, that's not my issue. Never have that. Never has that ever. That means you're insecure about yourself when you feel like you got to be in competition with somebody. Like literally, that's all she got, and that's unfortunate, you know. But like I said, age doesn't necessarily mean that you have any type of wisdom, and clearly this lady don't have no type of wisdom at all. That's on her.
You see Blue Sky's comment?
What she said, just like Blue Sky says, just like in the 50s and 60s, when the banks approve loans. Is that the one you're talking about? For the
Mm-hmm.
white people to get houses. Yeah, and businesses, they denied blacks from getting up. Well, you're right about that, Blue Skies. And don't you know that the whole what they call the suburbs, those were created, for white peoples, and they herded black people into the urban areas. But now we got gentrification going on all over the place. Um, and now they want to get back in the urban areas and kick us out of the urban areas.
Right. Yeah, and
And
it's
so
those loans still are not easy to get to this day.
Dipstick
You
Alley
know,
Font said, didn't she say she wasn't a doxer? She don't have no. You mean as far as her showing my photos? A lot of my photos are on my channel. I guess she want people to think that she's not doxing me if she's showing photos that I already got posted. I got videos, in real time of me. Excuse me, and photos up of me, and so yeah, it's the only
you,
place you can get those pictures from. So no, she ain't
when
doxing what I already got on my channel.
sometimes they take bits and pieces out of stuff and make it how they want to. If
Blow
you
it
listen to the
up and
whole thing,
yeah.
even if she would have listened to that video, with what we talked about the racism, she would have realized nobody wasn't even talking about her.
Nobody was talking about her.
No, none of
Miss
them at
Alfreda
all.
said,
Nobody.
yeah, I'm sorry, Lady T. Miss
No,
Alfreda
you
said,
okay?
looks fade. She said, looks fade. We pass on wisdom. Wisdom lives forever. That's right. That's right. Go ahead, Lady T. I agree with that. I'm
Yeah.
worried about passing on wisdom.
Right. Yeah. I pray I live long enough to be Miss Bless age and Miss Vonnie age. I pray for that. I don't understand why that's being thrown out too, that people don't want to get older. Um yeah, we want to be around. I'm not rushing it, but I do want to see my 60s and 70s. So, and the shaming of age, I don't get that. I do want to live a long
Yeah.
life.
Me too. I pray to get to my 60s and my 70s and beyond. I don't know how old person is gonna age shame another person that's younger than them. Yeah, but the level of ignorance is at an all time high. You can't never get that youth back. You always gonna. I don't know why she chasing my youth and compared to her. Because I'm always, gonna win. Like I don't understand.
But
Alfreda
see
says,
what
I am 68 and not ashamed. I pray to get to 68, Alfreda. Pray
you
because
know
I
what
want to see my nieces and my great nieces, start their lives.
she contradicted herself too. I remember a couple of months back, she got upset with Abe for saying those old hags. But then when Lipstick Alley said old hags to her, she thought it was funny. I was like, well, dang, why you went on Abe like that for saying that? And then when somebody else said, oh, it was funny. I just, it was so contradicting. I was like,
Yeah.
does it bother you or does it don't? I mean,
I,
do it not bother you?
I don't
Because
know.
it
She a whole
shouldn't.
weirdo. She a whole silly. She a real silly old lady. She a back in the day they used to call those type of women loose women. You know what I mean? And it's just real weird. Vibrant says getting older is a blessing. Getting older is absolutely a blessing. Some die
Yes.
way too young. You're right. You're right. I just seen on the news the other day when teenagers are out here not even living to the age of 18, being
Mm-mm.
gunned down in the street. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for me to be my age, and then even when I was young, we used to do a lot of reckless stuff back in my day. Because when I grew up, it was at the height of the gang violence. Even in the country where I live, they still was crippling and blooding it around here. They call them different things, but because of what they saw on TV and in rap music or whatever, they tried that nonsense. And I had a lot of friends that died, before we reached 18 or even in our early 20s to die for. But for me to be this age and for me to be in that kind of situation, like you went
Right.
to, I went to a club one time, Lady Tia, and they was shooting on the roof down onto people when they was
Oh
coming
Lord.
out of the club. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's a blessing for me to be here. And every
Mm-hmm.
day that I get is extra. When I wake up and hit the floor, it's extra. Never will I ever be embarrassed of my race. They try, I mean, not my race, but my age. And they try to make it a thing. And I don't even know. I can't um get with women like that because my age and my looks, they have never been at the forefront of my brain. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
I always want to focus on my people, learning, knowledge,
Right.
growing, wisdom, and all of that. All of that other stuff, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm
Look,
not no
Miss
insecure
Virginia,
person.
have you watched her, Miss Olivia?
Huh?
Miss Virginia, the older lady that she been dancing and stuff. She
Oh
be
Lord,
getting
yes.
they be laughing at her, but I'm like, that's an older lady. I wish I had that much energy when I get her age. I mean, she's enjoying herself. I don't see nothing wrong with it. She's having her a good time.
And
You know,
she can
she
still
be
move
dancing.
around.
Yeah, it's people her age probably in wheelchairs and can't move around on their own. It
Yes,
it
ma'am.
shouldn't be ashamed upon. I wish
It's a
I am in that have that type of energy when I get her
Me
age.
too. It's a blessing. Like every day I get is extra. Every day I wake up, I get to see my nephews and my nieces and my great nephews and my nieces. I get to see them, thrive and grow. And if I can pour something into them, what I mean, that's a blessing to me. That age thing, honey, it's gonna be what it's that looks like. Like Alfred say, honey, look phase, but wisdom is forever.
Right.
And so that's what I'm worried about. I can't get with people that is so surface level. I can't. Chad, we don't have nothing in common. We don't. I'm not worried about that, girl. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. You like me. You hate me. You like the way I look. You don't like the way I look. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Yeah, well,
And that
it's a
don't
lot of
nobody
people.
care about that.
A lot
Stuff.
of people losing a lot of true supporters that have been supporting them because of offensive
Yeah.
things and not feeling no kind of compassion about some of the things that are coming out their mouth and
Hmm.
people are
It's
losing
unfortunate.
subscribers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the level. Some subscribers, they. I mean, let me tell you something. What I noticed. Sometime I guess maybe, and if it's you just seeing it on the entertainment level, okay. But some stuff that I've seen from some of these subscribers, the way they, lift these people up into the nonsense is beyond me. It's kind of scary. Some of the stuff that people, co-sign coming from other people, and you got a right to co-sign whatever you want to co-sign. But when it comes to your character, even though in the midst of you co-signing the ratchet stuff, I hope that y'all taking notes. I hope that you ain't falling for it. Cause I seen a receipt of somebody actually, like it really, old girl really did put that 10K receipt out that
I
she
seen
gave
it.
that woman that $10,000. Like she really did that. I'm thinking, are y'all taking notes of this? I hope
I
y'all people
seen it.
game.
It was 10.9K. I saw it. I was like,
10.9.
wow.
Hey, in the midst of a global pandemic, Lady Tell.
Right. I
Wow.
can't. It feels like it feels like you're taking advantage of somebody,
Yes.
especially in the situation that people in. And then you got people saying, well, if she's willing to give it, take it. I get that, but at some
Mhm.
point you have to say, you know what, nah, I don't need all of this.
Yeah, no, there wasn't more compass. You know what I mean? That's a lot going on with that. I was like, wow, like she really did give that to her. I couldn't believe it. I don't see how people can be so gullible, but hey, it's hers to give. I mean, but child, I think a lot of people are behind. Hey, Jay Smith, they still putting Jackie Ina
Oh.
in the chat. I think y'all need to hit the, what do you call it, the refresh button? Ain't that what you call it, Lady Tia?
Mm-hmm.
Because so that they
You
can
can
be up
refresh it.
on the conversation. You know what I mean? Vibrant says, first season we said people don't believe in karma. They sure don't. A lot of people don't believe in karma. You know.
I believe in
Look,
it.
look, look. Jay said her name is Jackie Adams. Oh, see, she behind. Vibrant said, and some of us did crazy things in our youth, and came out unscathed. Right? Thank
Right.
God. Therefore, the grace of God go out. I know that's right. I
Right.
felt like my grandmama was always watching over me, Vibrant, when I was young, because, honey, I did a whole bunch of crazy stuff, but I feel
Right.
so
And you
blessed
live
that
and you
I'm
learn. You live
what
and you learn. Yeah,
yeah,
you
you live
live and
and
you
you
learn.
learn.
And then not only that, I mean, people get upset about things that happened in their past that people are talking about. Why be
Mhm.
upset about it? It's in your past. If you're not in that same space again, why that means you've learned from it. And that's the whole point. We are not living in a world where we're not gonna make mistakes. We're not
Right.
living in a world where we got a past that we all so happy about.
Hmm.
But don't be ashamed of it if you have learned from it and moved from it and you're
And
doing
some
something
of it
different.
ain't even ashamed of. It's just caping for it because you're still doing the same thing. It's just
That's
you trying to
different.
hide the history of it. You
That's
ain't ashamed
different.
of it. You trying to hide it because you still doing the same thing.
Now that's different. If you're
Yeah,
still
it's
doing the
different.
same thing, you
Yeah,
ain't learned nothing.
yeah. You ain't learned nothing and don't even care. So yeah, yeah, yeah. There's people that you know help you. Okay, this was my past. I done grew out of it. I'm a different person now. But then you got those people that are doing the same thing, just doing it to different people, and they don't like when you bring it up because they still doing the same damn thing.
Right. Then that's the difference. That is the total
Mhm.
difference. I mean, every relationship is a learning experience, whether it's with your children as they get older, you're learning how to do things different than you did before when you started raising them. You learning with your family members on who are there for you or whatever. Boyfriend, girlfriends, you learn from the mistakes that have been made, whether it was on both parts and at the end of the day, we still have to self evaluate because we are responsible for ourselves at the end. We are responsible for our happiness. So if that part of our life wasn't happy for us and we changed it, then you should applaud yourself. You shouldn't be feeling like, oh, well, I once was there. And yes, you once was there, but you're not there anymore. You're just
I
not there anymore. But if you are continuing to do the same thing, then you know they call what they
absolutely.
call them. You're ignorant
Yep.
because or you're insane because you're doing the same thing expecting a different result.
I agree. I agree. Alfreda Gross says we all age, but some of us don't age emotionally. I absolutely agree with that. And you're absolutely right. Some of us don't age emotionally. That's what they call it, arrested development. So yeah,
Hmm.
she's absolutely right.
Miss Olivia, do you
Uh,
think that some people, and not just on social media, just in life, people tends to not only lash out on other people because they got something going on in their life deeper, but I will
mhm.
say social media. Do you think people come on social media and have some animosity, and it doesn't even have nothing to do with who they got the animosity with? It got something to do with what's going on in their life,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
they project it out on social
Mhm.
media, and you be finding yourself people mad at you, and like, what, dang, what, you work on the wrong side of the bed or something. People be going through stuff in their lives, and then they come on social media, and then they take it out on other people.
Trauma,
You
and
just
then some people take their past trauma out on other people. Like, say you are a young person and you come online, you hear somebody like me online, and you automatically don't like me for no reason. That lets me know that you got some kind of issue going on, some kind of past trauma with maybe your mother, and because for whatever reason you want to project that onto me. I don't know if it's in your mind you think I sound like your mama, or I may have been your mother's age, or whatever causes you to project that anger onto me. that is a you issue, a you and your mama issue. That is not a me and you issue, because I'm not your parent. I did not inflict that trauma on you. But some people do come out and, they exhibit that type of behavior because they're triggered by your mere presence. So I
And
absolutely agree with you.
what do you
Yeah.
think about when people do get offended by certain things that a content creator say? The latest thing is the monkey thing. For those that have gotten triggered, their voices are valid and opinions are valid because you don't know what they specifically may have experienced in that word or certain expressions that are being said. So I think people should be responsible about certain things because you can offend a lot of people, and you may not even realize that it may be offensive to some, but when people express that, it triggered me. Do they supposed to just log off or
Mhm.
express their opinion or just move on? What you think?
I, I, Child, let me read this. Esther Anderson is saying something about GM, not to change the subject, but Dory. Well, yeah, we read that. But then Esther says, "Hey Tamika, how you doing? Let me read this comment. Thanks for joining us." She says she is also set to expose Jay Wilson. Miss O, I'm messy. So, I guess she talked about that Dory situation. But how you doing? The lady, she logged off. Whoever the person was, she logged off, Lady Tia. But
She
I
may be
really
dropped
don't,
off.
huh?
She may dropped off by mistake.
You probably should. Hopefully, she'll come back. But to answer your question, um, I have an issue with people using YouTube for counseling. You know what I mean? YouTube is not therapy. I say it over and over again. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you ask me a question like that, Lady Tia, it's so
Mm-hmm.
many layers to that, so many answers to that question. But at the bottom line, at the end of the day, she said, "Got lost, be right back." Okay, Tamika. At the end of the day, I don't think I think because we are behind cameras and we are behind keyboards, we don't take the time to sit back and realize the impact that social media is having on us. So whether you should comment on it or not or move it right along, that's
Mm-hmm.
up to the individual. But a lot of people, if you notice, I don't even interact with on purpose. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you are only fueling that fire. You cannot reason with some types of madness. You know what I mean?
But
And
yeah, I know.
so,
But when you in a conversation, okay, we're just having a dialogue. We're having conversation,
mm,
and whatever is being talked about may have triggered you from you may have experienced in your
mm-hmm,
own personal sorry, I gotta call own personal life. Should that
mm,
person should just log off or just express their opinion and take whatever comes back at them, because I know we don't know, everybody don't know what everybody
right,
has been through. So
right.
certain things may bother others and certain things may not. That same thing may not. The fact that a lot of people have had, especially in the Black community, have had a lot of trauma on a lot of different levels in different situations. Certain
Mm.
things, I mean, we should talk about it, but should we really talk about it?
I mean, if they're gonna put it out there, if you're gonna put it out there, past trauma or whatever it is, if you put it out there, people are gonna respond. And you have to know that going in. But a lot of times, people put things out there and they don't expect the response that they are expecting. They don't get it, and then it triggers them even further. So my thing is, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. If you don't want people to share their true opinions on it, on the situation, on your trauma, then don't put it out there. Go to therapy and don't come to YouTube
Right. Okay.
because it's going to be exploited, especially in the B sector. If you put out some kind of trauma, it's going to be exploited. It's going to be used as a tool against you. And that's unfortunate, but that is the nature of the beast, not only in the B sector, but on social media in general. A lot of trauma is exploited, and some stuff don't need to be out here on these internet streets. In my opinion. In my
Hey,
opinion.
Miss Tamika, can she hear us?
Hey Tamika, can you hear us? Unmute yourself, love.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes,
hear
I
you.
can hear
Just
you.
trying to let
We
I'm
you
can
talk.
hear you.
Just
fine.
trying to let you
I've
speak.
been watching you the last couple days, Miss Olivia, and you are so right.
Thank you. Hello, Tamika.
People take your trauma and they will use it, and they will use it, and they will use it totally against you. Can you hear
Mhm.
me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you now. Uh huh. Yeah, you went out again.
She may have
Uh,
a delay.
I'm thinking she does. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, people they'll take the trauma that you're going through or that you sharing with them. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You keep going in and out, but I can hear you right now.
I don't. I'm gonna use my other device. I don't know. Something's going on. I got a lot of.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the
All right.
device.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I think she's gonna come back when she figure out.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, she logged off. Yeah. Some people say, I guess Miss Cruiser went over to Watkins and they giving her the business over there. I don't know what you, child.
Gosh.
Ooh, Miss Cruiser. Poor thing. But yeah, I hope she
Yeah,
come back though. But yeah, when you put that trauma out there, they're gonna use it against you. You know. And so yeah. Yeah. You
right.
gotta watch what you put out in these streets,
Yeah, that's
if you don't want them to
unfortunate.
use it against you. Huh?
I said, yeah, that's very unfortunate.
And it is, Tamara says you should not, she said, but you should not place your trauma on others. Address it in therapy, not
Hmm.
just keep saying that it's my trigger. I agree. A lot of people, a lot of black people, unfortunately, don't, utilize therapy. But when you'll come online and display your trauma or want to speak about your trauma,
Hmm.
wanting to bring closure to your trauma. And social media is just not the place for that. It's only gonna
Yeah.
damage you even more. You're not gonna get no resolution. YouTube is not therapy, and
When
so
when I lost my son at a young age, I was advised to get grief counseling. Now, back then, I was heavy in the church, and my family like, just pray, just pray, just pray. And I didn't even realize years later after my son's death that I was actually depressed because, I just prayed. I feel like I should have gotten that grief counseling. I should have
yes,
gotten that so I could know how to apply it to my life. But we turn stuff like that down because it nowadays is more people are more open and receptive to it. But back then, people it was kind of taboo. I ain't finna tell them
hmm
people all my business. I'm not finna this and that. But I was going through a depressing state by after losing my son, and to
yeah,
this day, I think I should have got that grief counseling because I didn't realize I needed it, but I
yeah.
did at the time.
Well, see and then see, here's the thing that, like I said, when it comes to the black community, in mental health care, black folks, we have been taught, from generation to generation, to just grin and bear it. Whatever happened to you, you deal with it, you move on. Not realizing that it affects you as trauma. We don't even realize. Some of us don't realize that there is such a thing as trauma, like PST. You can have PTSD from a horrible, something happened to you in your childhood. We got all types of abuses that we never deal with. We just, push it aside and go on about our daily lives, and we don't utilize things like therapy. And that causes more trauma, more PTSD, more dysfunction in not only our families but also our communities. And it's just because we don't know that there are, systems in place like therapy that can help you work through that, you
Right.
know. But a
Even
lot
though
of people go to the church, and a lot of people, like you said, you went to the church. A lot of people go to, YouTube. These places are not always so therapeutic, for you,
right. Yeah,
and
like
but
what Miss Iyanla be doing. Yes, she's not a therapist, but she give her whole thing is to give you tools as a family to start to work on some things. And I think a lot of families should sit on the couch together, because
Hmm.
it's families that have unresolved issues with
Hmm.
loved ones, siblings, and they just don't even know how to come to the table to talk about it. So I think therapy is good for family
Hmm.
groups.
Yeah,
Family
why do you
therapy
think
is
that
good.
when Big Mama died, the whole family fall apart? You know,
Right.
you notice that when Big Mama
Mm-hmm.
died, the whole family, nobody's together anymore. You know, the whole family just fall apart because Big Mama ain't there no more to hold it together. You know,
Right.
and
Yeah,
nobody know
that's
where to
true.
go no more. Nobody don't have nobody to confide in no more because Big Mama gone now, and your whole family is just decimated. You know,
Right. And
and
that's
so
so there's trauma in that alone when
yeah,
you're not talking to your siblings, and it
yeah,
probably was just a misunderstanding, and y'all
yeah,
don't even know how to come to each other, because a lot of times we don't know how to communicate, right? And it
yeah.
comes off we're talking at people instead of listening,
Hmm.
and and that's just a part of communication. We communicate, a lot of us communicate bad with each other because we're ready to respond and not listening.
Right, right. Right. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
I hate sometimes that we can't recognize um the genesis of our issues. So for
Hmm.
that reason, because we can't recognize it and because we don't know that there's help and you don't have to be stuck in that place
Right.
forever, we can't move forward and we do more harm than good to ourselves and our families as well as our communities. And I think that's unfortunate. You know what I mean?
And we have to
Tamika's back.
recognize it too. We have
Yeah.
to
And we have to
recognize that
recognize it. Yeah.
yeah, the issues we have with ourselves. Like you said, you have anger issues, and you have went to therapy
Yes.
about it because you have it. You
Yes.
recognize something that is in you, has nothing to do with anybody else, but it's
Mm-mm.
something in you that you want to work on for yourself.
Mhm. Mhm. It's a lifelong struggle. Yeah, I reckon my mama used to tell me, you act like it's because your uncle used to do the same thing. You know what I mean? Just blow up. It's like you can't. It's different from anger. It's like rage. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like a migraine. It just come out the blue. You know what I mean?
And
But
what made you want to go and get the therapy when you recognized it?
uh,
You was like, I got to do something about it.
because I didn't. My grandmama told me. She kept telling me I was gonna get in trouble, and I was gonna get in trouble, and I was gonna get in trouble. And all of this and all that. So when I went to college, um, it was one particular thing that I actually started getting counseling in college. Do you see what I'm saying? And um, and the reason why I did that is because I started realizing that what, if I don't go get some help, I'm not gonna be nothing, and I'm gonna let my family down. Because my grandmama always told me, when you do something, you just don't do it. It just don't do it to yourself. You do it to your whole family. Like your whole family have to suffer the consequences of your
Right.
one bad choice. And I didn't. I was raised in a time where you don't embarrass your family. You don't
Hmm.
embarrass your people, no matter what. You know,
Right.
and stress brings on the rage. That's why it was coming out so much for me in college, because stress was bringing out the rage. I was frustrated, about my
Hmm.
classes. I was away from my people, just like I wasn't feeling it,
Hmm.
and because I can't. Me, I am a family person. I have my people. That's my grounding. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I just had to learn to deal with that sort of thing. But it's out. But like my uncle, he just my uncle, child, God rest his soul. He was a whole hot mess, you know. And but yeah, I dealt with mine. Thank God,
Yeah, I applaud you for that, Miss. So I really do, because a lot of
But I
people,
still deal with it.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
right,
Even therapy, even when I got married, I'm a real solitary person because I realize I can pop off. You know what I mean? And so
hmm,
me and my husband have been to therapy twice. You know, because like I can like log off from a person. You know, and my grandmama used to tell me about that too. That's why our people are so important, because if you can open your ears to positive criticism, you can do something about it. You know what I
right,
mean? And so I was always able to. I can't hear everybody, but I can hear my people. You know what I mean? Even you have even seen Brandy on here trying to calm her auntie BB down.
yeah,
Because I'm a lot better than I used to be. And then if you can see the Mister, me and the Mister, the reason why we have even through all that we've been through, um, he know how I can hear him. Do you see what I'm saying? I can hear
Mm-hmm.
him. And so I just don't completely lose it. Especially when I was younger, it was real important. I didn't even want to be bothered with him at first because he wouldn't argue back with me, not to that level. You know what I mean? Not to where I wanted it to be. You know, and then just no matter how much I tried to push him away, child, he wasn't going nowhere. He just kind of here now.
Well,
And
he
so
was a man to say, I can take whatever that is broken in you, and I want to love you back to life.
yeah,
But
he just was not gonna let me
excuse
bully
me.
his ass, basically,
Hmm.
pretty much.
But,
Hey,
sorry,
Tamika, I'm
you
sorry
know,
about
Miss
that.
Olivia, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon. But you know, Miss
Mhm.
Olivia, some people don't even have the capacity. They don't even have the mental capacity to even recognize that their behavior is even embarrassing. They don't even have the
Yeah,
capacity to even know that. So they just continue to act the way that they act.
yeah, I agree.
That's true. Very true,
I
Tamika. Very
agree.
You
true.
know, and it's so sad. It's so sad that in this day and age that you still got our people who don't believe in therapy
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I
when it's
agree with that.
evident that it works. Yeah,
Yes, it
old school
absolutely.
is still old school, but it ain't
Yeah,
nothing wrong with a little old school with a little new twist. You
yeah,
know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
because
Sometimes
I still raise my
sometimes,
kids. I
yeah.
still raise my kids the same way I was raised.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's important. It does you good to sit down and talk to somebody that is not emotionally invested in your situation. Like you can't always open up the way you need to open up to a family member. You know what I mean? And you
Right.
can't express how you really feel about another family member to one family to another family. You know what I mean? But
That's
when
what
You
you got
right.
some,
aunties for. That's what
that's what therapy
aunties
is for.
for.
It's a neutral person.
Right.
So when I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that me and the Mister done been to therapy twice, it's because we went through it separately as well as together. Because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to hurt your feelings, and I'm sure he don't want to hurt my feelings. But I can say what I gotta say to her, and he say what he gotta say to her, and she can be the moderator in the middle. You know.
Right.
And for
Right.
the couples counseling and therapy, when you in a relationship and you have hitting a bad spot and you decide to go and get some counseling. My best friend, he's married. They've been married for about 8 years. And he was the one who suggested the therapy. And they went to one class. She did not want to go back because it was a woman. She wasn't open or receptive to. And I was like, this is about working on y'all relationship.
Right.
That's what it's about. It's not about if it's a woman or a man. It's about
Right.
working on a relationship. And he was very disappointed that she didn't want to go back.
Mm.
Right. And couples therapy don't always have to be husband and wife. That's what a
No, it
lot of
don't.
people, they think of couples therapy. They think that it just has to be husband and wife.
Yeah, no, it don't. Yeah, I
Right.
agree.
It could be two girlfriends. It could be, and a lot of people, I think it got to do with they got a lot of trust issues with
Uh-huh.
themselves.
Mm-hmm. 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 My thing
Yeah.
is,
But
I
like you
gotta
said,
hit you with shut down.
like
I
the
will shut
lady
down on
said,
your ass.
right,
Yeah.
you may need that mediator. You
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
may need that mediator to keep the peace.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
I needed the mediator. Like I said, I'm older now. It just flat out don't matter. But I
Mm-hmm.
needed the mediator to, not. I got a character flaw. Like I would log off on your ass. My
And ain't
eyes will
nothing
glaze
wrong with that,
over,
Miss O.
and I won't even see you. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so when it comes to relationship, that's not always a good thing. Because
Mm-hmm.
if I log off, that means I'm done. Like it just is what it is. The only people I can't log off to when it is my family members. Everybody else in the whole world, like I can log off for your ass, and that's a
Right.
character flaw. That's not a good thing, all the time. And so,
Yeah.
but yeah, but I don't have that problem anymore with the Mister. But it took me a while to realize, don't do that. That's not cool.
Right.
You
And
know,
sometimes you've been on, even in it, whether it's a relationship or friendship, sometimes you can say stuff that you can't take back.
right?
You just can't take it back sometimes. So we have to
Right.
think about what we're saying to our loved ones as well, because sometimes people always talk about who hurt them, but not thinking about who they hurt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I
Right?
learned, you're right about that. When it comes to my family, I learned at a long age not to monitor my tongue. My grandmama taught me that the hard way to monitor my dang on tongue. Cause like Tamika said, she raised her kids like she was raised back in the day. Now I don't do that to mine, but I might say I had a couple of split lips because I ain't
No,
monitor
I'm
my
saying as
tongue.
far as, we got, sometimes our beatings went beyond beatings. I
Nope.
ain't saying that part as far as the discipline, but
I'm
as
here.
far as the respect, you respect,
Yeah,
you respect people and they'll
yeah,
respect you. And you got to definitely know that how you act in the streets definitely
yeah.
reflects on your parents and
On
how
your
you were
parents.
raised.
That's right. That's yes, ma'am. That's why I went to therapy in college because I'm not trying to embarrass my people. I was
And I'm
that
telling
was
you, like
my
you
I
say,
was
Miss
not gonna do that.
Olivia, I had a time in my life where I was just so cold and acting out in my
Mhm,
20s. I
Hmm.
was so cold. I acted out. I
mhm,
was hearted, cold hearted. And
mhm.
I had to dig the way that I was acting because I wasn't raised like that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. You know what I mean. I wasn't raised like that either, and I had to check myself. You know what I mean? Because like I said, what I wasn't
And
gonna do. My greatest fear, when I was because I was raised well and I did honor the elders in my family. My greatest fear was to embarrass my people. That was my greatest. Nowadays, you got a lot of young people that don't even think like that, but
Uh-uh.
yeah,
it would be the death of me
You be
to
out in the
dishonor my
street
parents.
sometimes. You hear these young people talk, they don't care, they ain't got no respect.
Yeah,
Back in the day, we was too afraid that our neighbor,
yeah.
Miss So and so, to know our mama gonna see us.
Child,
Nowadays, they don't care, and
they don't
they
care.
wish you would say something to them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right about that.
that's
But
right.
back in the day, that was not the case. I would just, I was not trying to deal with that. That would have been, I can't even compare how bad I could have felt if I would have dishonored my people. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I can't.
Mhm.
I can't
Right.
even.
That's
It just
yeah.
scared me even to this day. I am the matriarch in my family on my mama's side now, and even to this day, I still got my grandmama's voice in the back of my head. I still don't want to dishonor my people. you
Mhm.
know,
Right.
and I
Mhm.
teach
Yeah.
my nephews and my nieces. It just whenever you do something, you have to keep in mind your whole family. Because if you do step out here and do something ratchet, you're just not doing it to yourself. You're doing it
Right.
to your people. Don't
Right.
dishonor your
That's
people by
right. It
screwing up.
affects
Yeah.
everybody. It affects
When
everybody.
they go to prison, whole family go to prison too, and people
Exactly.
don't look at it like that, but that's the
Yes.
case because you're worried about if they're being mistreated, you if they're being fed, so you are in prison as well, and I want to thank everybody for all the prayers for the loss of my son. It's been 10 years now and it has gotten better. I wanted to say, when a lot of times in the beef sector people talk about deaths and things like that, um you don't know how what I realized when I lost my son is nobody could make me feel better but somebody who
Mhm.
actually went through what I
Yes.
went through. So when somebody
Yes.
speak on someone losing their mom, their
Mhm.
grandma, I haven't lost my
Mhm.
mom, and so I don't know what to say to them. So all I can do is just send my condolences. But some people like to speak on stuff that they haven't even
Mhm.
experienced themselves,
Mhm. Yep.
and you
Mhm.
know
Yep.
that's
They'll
a whole nother.
weaponize it against you. You know what I mean? They'll
Mm-hmm.
use it, as a weapon. On here, they'll use it as a weapon against you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel you, Lady Till. But yeah, I didn't, but yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it, but I don't want to expound on it.
Right. That's
I don't
and
want to
that's
use it as a weapon. I've had
yeah.
my,
Mhm.
we all know, I've told my story before about my issue with, when I was, trying to have a child, with my
Mm-hmm.
husband. You know what I mean? I've talked about that. So maybe but I'm
Right.
too old now for that to phase me. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that was also another underlying issue. Reason why I had to go to therapy the first time with with the mister, because I was trying to push him away. Because in my mind, I wasn't doing the one thing that I couldn't do, was have him a seed, and then come to find out, I was more worried about it than he was. He was too worried about trying to keep up with the babies that my sisters is having. because we had them and we had foster kids, and it was just so much. It's always been so much going on surrounding my house when it come to kids, to where I was doing just like the absolute most. But
Yeah.
because I wasn't communicating how I felt, it was being taken out of context. It was causing trouble for no reason. And that's why I always advocate therapy, you know, because through therapy, that helped me come to realize that, hey, what you're thinking about is not even a problem. It's a problem in your own head. Everybody else got too much stuff going on, And so, yeah.
And
But when you
I
don't
had
talk,
said this before about the sharing. I know you tell us, don't share everything about your life, but I also
mhm,
think that everybody's YouTube channel is like their baby. It's a
yeah,
piece of them. It's who they are. So when
yeah,
it comes to sharing things about your life, I don't see
yeah,
nothing wrong with it. Now I do understand it
yeah,
get weaponized, but nobody
yeah.
can weaponize you with your own truth.
Well, I've dealt with it. I will share the things like I just said what I said because I've dealt with that. I
Mm-hmm.
did go through a therapy for it as well as my anger issue. If
Mm-hmm.
I've overcome it and it's not a trigger for me anymore, yeah, I don't mind sharing it. But if it's
Okay.
something going on and I'm still triggered about it, I'm not gonna come up here and have it be used against me. But the
Right.
stuff, like what I just talked about, that's past. I'm too old for that stuff now. You know what I
I
mean?
totally
That's
get what you're
that's
saying. You made a
that's
lot of
that's in the
sense.
closet. Yeah, you know what I mean. But triggers now, present day troubles. No ma'am, no ma'am. I wouldn't come over here and share nothing like that. You will not
Right.
use that against me. But my past, if I can bring, if I can share something, a little bit tidbit about something that happened in my actual life, and it
Mm-hmm.
bring peace or solace, or somebody hearing, me talk about, advocating for therapy, if it make
Mm-hmm.
them want to go to therapy, that's a good thing. Because I
Right.
absolutely advocate for therapy. Like I'm here for it.
That's
Like for
right.
real.
Me too.
I'm here for it. Because it can change your life. It will cause you to not be stagnant and keep having to, and then a lot of people don't realize, especially when it comes to childhood trauma, and until you deal with that situation, whatever happened to you, that situation still has power over you. Even you can have grown into adulthood, and because you never dealt with your childhood trauma, that childhood trauma still has power over you. That's just like any type of trauma. Until you deal with it, until you confront it and face it, and and you use the tools of therapy to get
Mm-hmm.
over it, it's still going to control you. And that's not a good
Right.
thing. You need to heal at some point. But some
Right. And you
people
Right.
made a
You
great
gotta.
never
point.
realize that.
That was a great
Right,
point. And I
Miss
didn't even think
Olivia.
about it that way either, Miss Olivia. When you said
Mhm.
if you're not healed from it, then no, that's not when you need to share it. Share when you have
Mhm.
healed from it. And I never
Yep.
thought about it that way.
Share when you heal from it. What'd you say, Tamika?
I was saying you're absolutely right, Miss Olivia. You got to get that stuff up and out, move the trauma out to make room for the good.
Mm-hmm.
Move the bad trauma out to make room for the good.
I
Absolutely. I
agree.
absolutely agree. Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. Well,
Yeah.
Miss Miss Owen fit to make my daughter some lunch. I enjoyed the conversation. And once again, we
Okay.
don't have to drag. We can talk about stuff that is real,
Yeah.
a lot. It's important that
Absolutely.
we talk about our experiences and certain things,
Mm-hmm.
and people can add to it. So I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you, Miss Olivia. Tamika, it was nice meeting you, and you guys have a
Nice meeting
wonderful
you too,
Friday.
Lady
Thank you,
Tia.
Lady T. Love you. Thanks for popping
Love you
up.
too. You're welcome. Bye bye.
Okay. Have a good one. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Tamika, I agree with you. Therapy is absolutely important. You gotta get it out. You gotta move past it if at all possible. And so yeah, so that you don't want something like that having control over your life forever. You know,
Because you can't move on from it, and
you
then you
can't.
blaming everybody for it. Everybody's paying for what somebody else did to
Hmm.
you in the past. I heard somebody say a saying. They said, "I'm not a prisoner of my past. I'm a pioneer of my future."
Mm. That's deep.
You know, and we can't let our past. I'm not letting my past define me because we supposed to live and learn from it.
Hmm. You're right. I agree. I agree. I agree. Vibrant said, by the time we were teens, it only took a look. Oh, she talking about we was talking about the family, but yeah, you're right about that. Speak Your Truth says, not being able to have children only means a different life enjoyed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I came to realize that speak your truth. I had much more freedom, and I got to experience a lot of things in my young life, and I didn't have to wait to experience them, in my life now. I got to be young when I was young. So you're right about that,
Right. And
And
it
so
made it allowed you to be a mother to other kids.
yes, absolutely.
Just because you
Absolutely.
don't have children of your own don't mean you can't
Absolutely.
mother other kids.
Yeah, I got to. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I got to. I get. Like I said, I had foster kids. My nieces, my nephews, the kids in the community. You know what I mean? And it's so much. It was so uh, it's so gratifying when those kids grow up and they see you on the street and they run up to you and they hug you, even if you don't know who the hell they are, honey. Okay,
Right.
and and
They'll
so it lets
remember
you know
you.
that you impacted their life in some kind of way. You know.
Right. They'll remember you, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've had that happen to me. I've had that happen to
And
me
those be the
because
rewards, And those
yeah,
be the rewards. Those
yeah,
be
it
the
makes it
rewards.
worth it. Yes, it's worth it. It's worth it. You pouring into somebody. You know what I mean? I even have it happen to me. I worked with homeless people for over a decade, and people will stop me on the streets. They not. We helped them in a housing or whatever, and they calling my name, and I'm speaking, and I'm having to call you, hey baby, how you doing? Because I'm calling you, hey baby, how you doing? Because I don't know who you are. But you
Right.
but you clearly know me, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? So that's a good feeling. That's what it's all about. And
And
so yeah.
that's what it's about. It's about teaching those that don't know.
Mhm.
Teaching
Mhm.
those that don't know, that want to know.
Mhm.
Because you got
Mhm.
those that don't want to know a thing. They think they too smart for their own good.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
You know,
Unfortunately. Yeah.
some adults
Mhm.
too. Because you ain't never
Yeah.
too old to learn nothing, as they
Mm-mm.
say. You ain't never too old to learn nothing new.
Man. Amen. But some people get stagnant and they don't realize that you ain't never too old to learn. The day you feel like you know everything, that's the day you might as well chalk it up to a loss. Cause I never miss an opportunity to learn something. You know what I mean?
That's
I'll be learning
right.
till I die. And so yeah, yeah. You know. That's crazy. My aunt adopted me. That's my mother. Is that right, Miss Alfreda? I was telling people yesterday how my niece, Brandy, she can't leave me alone, child. I've been had her since birth. My sister pretty much gave her to me. You know what I mean? I didn't have a choice in the matter. And
Hmm.
and so Brandy, that's my baby. I just didn't have her. You know what I mean? But she don't never leave her auntie alone, honey. Not even online. All right. She always somewhere, not far behind.
Right.
But yeah, yeah, I
And
get what
people
I get.
don't get that, especially in this sector. In this sector, I watch a few content creators, and it's like y'all only out here to destroy each other. Like,
Mm.
like you said, they want
But
to take your
it's
hurt.
not like it for me. I ain't trying to destroy nobody. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Not all. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say all, but a
yeah,
lot.
yeah,
But a lot. That, like you said earlier, they want to take your hurt and your trauma, what you choose to
yeah,
share with them, and they
yeah,
want to use it as a weapon.
yeah. Well, that's why you should. That's why you should keep,
And you ain't
your
supposed to
personal
share
issues to
everything with
yourself.
everybody.
Right. The only thing, but when people start going into people's actual life, I know what you mean, cause we don't see people call CPS on people, get people fired from jobs, dox
That's
people where they
different.
live. That's too
Right.
much. The only thing I go back and forth with is what I can see on the screen. I don't have no
That's
backhanded
right.
conversation. I don't care what you're doing in your life, but if you put it on the screen, I'm gonna comment on it. But all that extra stuff, child, ain't nobody got time to do all that. I
Ain't
don't.
nobody got time for it.
Mm-mm.
If you got that much
Mm-mm.
time in your life to look up about somebody else's life, then you need to get some more stuff going on in your own life.
Ooh, I swear, honey, I don't have time to worry about nobody else. It ain't enough hours in the day, child. I be having
That's
total
it, Miss
chaos around this
Olivia.
house sometimes. With these young people, all these young people in these families swirling around, child, ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for it.
I be trying to put their fires out.
Ain't
And so
nobody
yeah.
got time for it. And then when
I
you
don't.
call them out, and then when you call them out on their madness, they want to get mad at you.
Uh-huh. Child, ain't nobody got. I don't even. Tamika, child, it don't bother me. I'm real messy. And but as
I
far
know,
as
hey, we all got a little messy in us.
I got a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
say
mess.
that we all got a little messy in us.
I got a lot of mess, but but as far as trying to find out, how like your actual life, like offline, I'm not worried about stuff like that. I ain't got
Mm-mm.
time. I'm too worried about me and mine. I ain't got
I ain't
time to
got
ask
nothing
nobody
invested
extra.
in the steak. That's how I
Uh-uh.
say. I ain't got
Yeah.
nothing invested in it.
Nothing. I ain't got time. I got too much going on around here in real life. Offline, I don't have time. I can't do that. I can't invest that much time into somebody that I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? But now, if you put it up
Like
on the
you said,
screen,
Miss Olivia, you got your real life. You got
yeah,
loved ones in your real life.
yes, I ain't got time for all the extra. I can't worry about your life because I got to worry about my life.
You got people to care about you in your real life.
Yeah, that's true. But it's a lot of people, unfortunately, or not. I really feel blessed because I got people in my life that care about me and keep me grounded, and I got people to care about, and keep them grounded. Because family is everything to me. And so yeah, but a lot of people evidently don't have that type of foundation, and that's bad. I just real talk. That's not a good thing. I hate that. So yeah, it's just all it is to it. You have a blessed day too, Miss Alfreda. Thank you, Miss Alfreda. Thanks so much for joining. But Miss Tamika, child, I'm getting ready to get off here. We've been on here 2 hours
Yeah,
and
me too. I'm
35
gonna
minutes.
drop off, and I'll be. You have a blessed day.
Okay, you too, and thanks so much for joining us. When I drop the link, anytime I drop the link, feel free to click the link, honey, and come on up.
I
I
sure
enjoyed
will.
you.
You're the first one. You're the first person I clicked the link on, Miss Olivia, and I
Oh,
thank you.
thank you. I thank you. It means a lot. Thank you. You have a good weekend, okay?
You as well.
Okay. Bye bye. Well, guys, I guess I am going to get off of here. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for saying that, Vibrant. And you too, Alfreda said your mommy. Free Thinker said, be discerning of what you tell. Don't toss your pearls before swine. That's a word for the day. I know that's right. Yeah, y'all please, if y'all forgot to say, please hit the like button if y'all don't mind. You know what I mean? But you're right about that, Amethyst. Don't toss your pearls to swine. I know that's right. She going out. She's still going off on Miss Cruz. Child, they be all right. I done had me a good conversation over here. Viewers of you said thanks for the commentary. You're welcome, viewers of you. Thanks for clicking the link and coming up. View says thumbs up the video if you are here. Yeah, y'all please hit that like button if you will on the way out the door. It just helps the video get in the algorithm. And thank you guys so much for popping on and clicking the link. And thank you for all your comments in the comment section. I really love it when our chats are interactive, and we ended up talking about something really positive, and I really like to have these conversations as opposed to the other types of conversations that we know it can delve into. Thanks for keeping me abreast of situations. I appreciate you. Love the real issues over the drama any day. That's right, Lady T. Me too. Miss Queenie said, I really enjoyed this discussion. Thanks, Miss Queenie 98. Thank you guys. I would rather to have these types of conversations than the other types of conversations any day. It really let me close out my week as far as my YouTube work on a high note, as opposed to, all the nonsense. Tasha Webb said, thanks, Miss O. Have a great day, everyone. Yes, all of you guys have a great day. Like I said, I'm gonna get off of here. More than have a great day. Have a great weekend. Okay, cause TGIF. I am so glad we have been real active on my channel this week, honey. And I am glad to see. It's like I done had a whole job. Okay, I done worked a whole work week online this week. So what? Okay. But yeah, y'all guys have a great weekend. Get you some rest if you have to work this weekend. Just be easy as you go about your day. And I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Love you all. Thank you so much. Please hit that like button, like I said, on your way out the door. Please, thank you, Amethyst. She said I received something of value today. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot for you to say that. I really appreciate that. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Please consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't. And don't feel free to share the video. You never know when somebody's gonna hear something and it can make a difference in their life. With that being said, I love you guys once again. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Bye bye. Peace.